Welcome to Meat and Cigars. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about La Milanesa. It's yummy, it's delicious, and that's going to be
called? La Milanesa.
La Milanesa.
La
That's what
Milanesa.
it's called. That's what it's called. My name is George Olivieri. I will be your host. On my right, I have Roxana Caridad.
Hello.
Love of my life, the best thing that ever happened to me. I have to say that it's part of the contract that I signed. So we're all good there. We're all good. Yes, I gotta make sure you get that out. On my left, I got a very special guest today. Not only is he a good friend, somebody I've known for a long time. Not only is he a pretty good volleyball player, even though he says he's not, but he is. He's naturally born with that athletic ability.
Aspired.
Yeah, well, you could become something someday. If the art doesn't work, you can always go into volleyball, professional volleyball, or male modeling. Either one. Either one's good. So, Pawel, pronounce your last name.
Borzym.
Borzym. Pawel, where are you?
It's a Polish name.
It's a Polish name. Pawel is an amazing artist. I love his artwork. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Yes.
You are from Poland, and from what city?
The city name is Toruń.
Toruń.
And it's the city where Nikolai Copernicus was born.
Wow. There you
So
go.
we have a huge university in Poland under his name, and the physics and astronomy faculties focus on the math and
that would make sense. He was big into that.
Yeah, we have astronomical observatory, like a little one.
So you probably hear the tarp in the bottom. You might hear it, you might not. It's like a mini hurricane here in Miami today. The winds are into 18 and 20 miles per hour. So if you see something flying by, don't get scared.
Typical day in Miami.
It could be an iguana, it could be a bird, it could be an alligator. We don't know. Something might fly out and attack us. So
maybe
it is in the middle of spring. You know that, right?
we are in spring. Yes. Well, Miami spring is Miami spring. I also have to mention before we go on our sponsor, Sicar. I pronounced it without Danny being here, so fuck you, Danny. Here we go. Sicar is the sponsor.
That looks good. I like the
so this cutter,
quality of that thing.
Yeah. This is a really nice cutter. There's a flagship. You can't see it if you're listening to it, but it's your typical cigar cutter. But the thing is that this cutter is a classic. It's been around for years. If you go to sidecar.com, you can see it.
What's classic about it? The design of it?
The design of it, the weight of it, the way it cuts, it's extremely sharp. You don't want to put anything but a cigar into that little hole. If you can put something else in that little hole, you have more problems than other people. But the reality...
Is that the same thing that the mafia using for the...
Yes. Thank you for bringing it up.
Must be the...
So in The Godfather, this is what they use. And then there's a movie...
If you failed, you lose your
if
pinky.
you fail, it could be more than just your pinky. It depends how unexcited you are.
Depends how many times you failed.
Yes. More than 10 times, you're in trouble.
I love the color. It's a beautiful color.
It's a beautiful... Their products... Sidecar products are amazing. The weight is amazing. Look, take a look at that.
Let me see.
This one is the B cutter. This is another amazing product. It's extremely sharp. It cuts really well, and that's what you want. That's what you want when you're cutting your cigars. You don't want to have any leftovers or anything like that.
Really good.
Yeah, it's an amazing product. I highly recommend it. Plus, they give us money, so we have to recommend them.
That one looks like a key to the supercar.
It does look like a key to supercar,
It's not that heavy.
or a Lamborghini, or one of those big, the Tesla. Have you seen the Tesla lately? They've been driving around Miami all over the place. The Tesla truck.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen live the Cybertruck yet.
I've seen it like 20 times already.
Live?
Live, yeah, I've seen it all over the place.
I haven't seen it.
I got pictures of it. I'm gonna put up a picture
I've seen it once, like from far away, but not like to.
It's an amazing.
Be in front of it,
visually, it is stunning. I love it. I'm very futuristic. I like it.
I do like the design, even though it's like
you are
crude
gonna admit
and stuff. But I like it.
It doesn't seem.
It is weird. It is a weird design.
It kind of looks like somebody said, "Do the most square, inefficient truck possible," and that's what they came up with.
Yeah,
because the design doesn't look efficient.
But you know what it reminds me? remember the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Yeah,
Yes.
the first one.
Yes.
The cars
Yes.
look kind of like that. The
Yes.
futuristic. It
Absolutely.
was just like from this
and
movie.
they were square.
Yeah,
and they had the robotic driver.
Simplified.
Did you ever see that movie, lady?
don't
She was
recall.
not born when that movie
never
came out.
seen
Listen, I'm
Total
not
Recall?
that young, but thank you.
That's the,
She was not
that's
born.
one of the best. I think it's the original is better than the remake. They recently
the remake was horrible.
Although it was good in
No, it was horrible.
visual effect, but
They didn't do a better job. So if you're going to do a movie like that one,
no, I agree.
you should be doing the fight scene should be better.
Yeah.
The special effects should be better. I mean, and it wasn't. It was like mediocre at best. The acting was good, but I didn't find it a very appealing movie
I think they
compared to the first one.
confused the plot a little bit too much because it seems like it might all have been just in his head
Yes.
instead
yes.
of they just planted it in.
And that's
in
not a
his
good.
head.
That's not a good thing.
Okay.
Let me
Yeah.
not forget to put the timer because I always forget to put the freaking timer, and then we go
How
on.
much time do we have?
Woo! No, we got limited time, but sometimes after the drinking starts, you kind of forget where you were standing.
Yeah.
But
No, absolutely.
but yeah. So, Pawel, tell us a little bit about your art. We have here one of your
So-
art pieces. We have another one back here.
Yeah, I mean, I can
Start
a
from
little
the
bit
beginning.
From the beginning, yeah. I'm an artist here from Miami, but originally I'm from Poland. I moved down here about 20 years ago. Actually, on June 14 is going to be exactly 20 years
Wow.
since I moved down in.
So we've been here about the same time because I got here
Yeah.
2000, 24 years, 20
Right.
years. So yeah.
Yeah, and I moved down here as a student on the beginning.
Okay.
But I love the country so much, and I have some history in a family. My father was here from 87 to 90.
Okay.
And I always dreamed when I was young watching the Miami Vice, I swear to God, like the old with the Crockett and
Yes. Who
you know.
doesn't want to be in Miami Vice, live on a boat, have an alligator as a pet?
yeah. It was great inspiration for my dream
I'm sure.
to move down into the warm place and
Yeah.
cool country like this. So I set my mind on a journey. I was at the time in college, Polish University
Okay.
or whatever, studying completely different than art.
Get a little closer to the mic.
Yeah.
And remember,
I was-
this is a podcast.
I was
Even
in
though we have video, a
I
podcast.
was in IT at the time, and I came in 2004. First few months I was in New Jersey because situation required me.
How did you like New Jersey?
I didn't like it. I don't know. I was.
I don't
I'm
think
like,
the people that live in New Jersey
after-
like New Jersey.
After like a month or two, I was like, oh, I can't wait to go to Miami already, see something else. I don't like this place. Anyway, the fate put everything together. I managed to set up everything that helped me move down to Miami. Like everything was falling perfectly into the place from the beginning before I left Poland to coming me here, and just everything happened perfectly. I would always find a job immediately,
Nice.
like upon arriving, everything. And I started working in like entertainment industry there in Miami first few years. I was bartending at Space for like 5 years when I was
Okay.
when I was
That
younger.
must have been terrible. You must have hated that, no?
No, yeah, I mean, no,
I beg to differ.
Did you get a little eye candy every now and then?
there were some bad times, but mostly good times. I obviously I remember
I bet.
it very well, and I enjoyed. Although out of all the nightclubs that I worked at that time, the best place that I ever worked, it was a place called Pawn Shop Lounge. I don't know if you guys ever heard of. It was on 11th Street, right in front of the I-195 that goes to Miami Beach, where the R&R Center is right now, the Philharmonic.
Okay.
On the left there was now it's parking lot, but before there was like an old pawn shop
Really?
turned into the nightclub.
Wow.
That place was amazing. Like that was the best place I ever worked at.
Really?
We played
What made it the best place you ever worked at?
the people that I worked with, but also the music that was played, because it was played like alternative.
Okay, trance.
Old school, 80s, 70s, 60s, mixed with alternative and electronic music together. So it was fantastic. Like, and
I completely missed that place. I never went.
Oh, dude, it was one of the best clubs at that time in Miami. And it was totally different because inside looked like an old pawn shop. We had sections of, like a school bus. School bus turned into the bottle tables.
Okay.
Another section was airplane. So all the walls were taken from the airplanes, and the seats were airplane seats.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
That's
Another
pretty cool,
section
actually.
was Airstream.
Okay.
With a garden in front of it, so we had like couches in a garden and 2 tables in the Airstream,
Nice.
parked in a garden, like with the white fence and stuff.
Huh.
DJ booth was inside the old Mack truck, the flat one, the one that is flat now,
Oh yeah, I know.
the semi truck.
Yeah, yeah.
So DJ booth was inside,
inside
and,
there.
and on the bed of the truck there was another bottle service section,
Wow.
like a VIP.
Huh.
No, fantastic place. We had
Completely
at that time,
missed that whole.
Yeah.
Because that was there how many years? Do you know? Well, I mean,
I think
definitely.
it was open for about 4 years only. It wasn't that long. I worked there for about year and a half,
Okay.
something like that. But that was the best time. From there, I moved to Caroline Wine, then Space.
Okay.
And later, I decided to change my career. I started working in a gallery. And through gallery, I met artists, and then I became an assistant to one of the artists. And later, the artist was taking too much advantage of my skill, taking all the
Shocking.
credit
Tends to happen.
for my
Shocking. For
creativity.
your work.
So I had to quit and move on my own. And that's where I started working my solo career about 3 years ago. And I started making art out of bullets.
I'm gonna put a big picture there.
Right,
But you can see it on the video. All his artwork is based on basically bullets, buckshot,
Yeah,
bullets,
90
different caliber.
95%. I do other
95%.
things, but
Yeah.
at the moment it's mostly bullets. It's a lot of people don't know, but it's actually a style of art. I don't know if you
I did not know that.
familiar. It's,
No.
Yeah, I'm not the first person that uses
does it.
bullets to make art. It's actually called like a trench art.
Okay.
Because it started in the First and Second World War when the soldiers were using in a spare time ammunition and elements of that to make art.
Oh, okay.
And it's a little like a genre of it's called like a trench art.
Okay. Trench art. That's kinda cool.
Because it started in the
Makes sense.
trenches of First and Second
Oh.
World War. Where like they were using the bullets and elements.
But
You probably don't remember, but when we went to Art Basel, I remember that you had your display there.
yeah.
There was also a different company advertising something similar that also had bullets.
yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
So it is a thing.
Yeah, there's few other artists around that use it, and
What makes you? What do you think makes you unique compared to the other guys?
the quality of work, the orientation on detail.
Because we were talking about that, about repeating an artwork, and how you found that the first one was really the one that you loved, and the second one was better quality because you learned things from the previous one, but it didn't feel like the first one, which it shouldn't really. I mean, it should be a unique. It is a unique item, each one of them.
That's an interesting aspect of creation
Yeah.
that we discussed earlier. That usually the first works that you're really into it and inspired by the idea came out the best way because you're drawing from the higher place of the inspiration from the muse, so called. And those pieces came out usually the best. Although if you like focus on something and you keep doing, later on you can make it even better, but it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
But if you try to replicate something again immediately, it's usually not. It doesn't come out as good as the first one. Yeah, that's.
But I wouldn't even say so. I do agree in a certain degree, but I would say that in my personal experience, and of course I'm nowhere near your talent. I'll be honest. I'm more of a hobbyist. I do my artwork, but I'm not an artist. I don't spend every single moment of my life concentrating on that.
Right.
And I think that makes a huge difference at the end of the day in the end product. Because that is your job, that is your passion, that is what you're into. So going back to the original, there is always an original. And then you duplicate it, but you don't really duplicate it because you cannot. It's an original, it's an original, it's an original.
No, unless you have.
So the second one becomes an original in and of itself.
Yeah, you could, but when you do something unique, like the work I do, it's almost impossible to replicate because you will never repeat the same steps. But then also I don't want it. I don't want it to look exactly like that because like the first one, because I also want every piece to be unique to itself, and also unique for somebody who buys it from me. You know, as I want to guarantee that they have the one and only.
That's the most important
because
thing.
that also what keeps the value of the artwork and satisfaction of the client and my own.
I think without the one and only, art becomes burritos. And I hate to say it.
Commercial.
It commercializes, and then it just, to me, it loses all value. Now, obviously, an original burritos right now costs you.
It becomes a decor instead
decorative. Yes,
correct.
I agree.
Now, I do have a question.
Go for it.
What is your line of inspiration that inspires you to do your different art pieces? Is it one particular thing? Is it different visionaries that you have?
Well. Each piece, obviously, it's inspired by different things, and inspiration come and go in a different moments, driven by situation that you, at the moment, you will watch a movie or something, and you will connect a dot of this and that. I'm like, oh, this is going to be actually cool looking when you do it out of this. But the main idea behind the work, like... I don't know how to put it in a word, but the main idea behind it is duality of existence.
Okay.
Like, because
it's interesting.
We live in a dual world, and it's unbreakable. We cannot avoid it.
Okay.
And in my work, I'm using object that it's hard and powerful and damaging, but at the same time, I'm trying to express soft feelings and pacify the meaning of the object that it's associated with violence.
So a little bit.
So when you look into my work, a lot of cuteness there when it's out of object that it's associated usually
it shouldn't be. It's not that cute.
Not that cute.
That is a good point.
But that's my main objective in creating of my pieces, to merge the two opposite elements on the center, because one would not exist without the other. Good and evil, they have to exist together. Like
interesting. I never
we
thought
will
of.
not
I never
grow
even thought
without
of
a
that.
struggle.
Yeah.
Evolution depends on struggle. If everything is provided for you, you're not growing.
You're not growing. It's true.
That is true.
So
That's very
a lot of
interesting.
art, it's inspired by that. In other ways, I also like to delve into the human psyche and human condition.
Okay.
Human behavior.
Okay.
We're gonna need more alcohol for that.
Oh yeah.
So I really love that piece.
Yeah, like this one touches on the human behavior.
I absolutely love it.
Because
What do you? Hold on. Let's do this. Hold on. What do you feel when you look at that? Oh boy.
For me, it's like if it's a costume that I can wear it. I would love to wear it, but I know that I can't.
What do you really feel, though? I know you're
Listen.
holding back. Come on. What do you see there? Come on. People want to know. Look at this. Everybody's going crazy.
Things that would go in a red room. you know?
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, red room.
Sex on a stick.
Absolutely.
That's where I'm
I
going
knew it.
with it.
I
Obviously,
knew it.
obviously Playboy bunny,
Absolutely, of course.
but
That's like the obvious,
sexy
right?
person.
Absolutely.
But where's the connection with the weapon and
Listen, anything
The
can happen
danger of
behind
sex.
closed doors.
yeah, but
The
yeah,
excitement of war, the
Yeah.
excitement of sex.
The
it kind of goes
the
together.
weaponization of
The
beauty.
weaponization
Yeah,
of beauty.
yeah.
Of beauty,
Ooh,
because
that's
it-
even better. I like
because
that
it-
one.
It
Did you
can
get that?
be used.
Weaponization of
Of beauty.
beauty.
It is definitely a weapon.
Weaponization
Yeah, because,
of beauty. Very
Beauty
nice.
can be used as a weapon, and,
Oh,
and it
absolutely.
is.
Says
You-
her.
Talk to the Trojans
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
the Spartans. They went to war for
That's true.
beauty.
No,
You
no,
know what
you're
I mean?
right.
Like-
That's
Yeah.
right.
That was a hell of a war, too.
I really, really
They
enjoy
even made
that
condoms
piece.
out of them.
It's a really nice piece.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. I
Yeah.
love it.
So-
And this is not the first one. This is the second one.
Yeah, that's the second one. The
I'll
name
put the
of
first
it,
one over there.
It's femme fatale.
Femme fatale.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know, the famous saying. Uh,
It makes sense.
Absolutely. And going back again, yeah, the human condition is the weaponization of the beauty and characteristic in order to get
Absolutely.
something. You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
like
yeah. It's your facade.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
wars are waged in order to get something.
Yeah.
You know,
We use beauty for that sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Women use that to get what they want.
A little bit,
So-
just a
Yes.
little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. But yeah, I think that's you know, one thing I enjoy about going to watch out, don't fall. One thing that I enjoy about going to speak to the artist at art fairs is exactly what you just did right now,
Right.
which is actually explain the artwork in a way that, because it might not be, you know, I might look at it and actually feel a completely different feeling.
Yeah.
It might remind me of, I don't know. I don't want to
Why
say
you look at me?
it does remind me a
And that's
little
great
bit.
too. I mean,
But that's fine too, right?
That's also what it's.
It reminds you of an
about.
you know, an experience. It reminds you of, I don't know, Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, you know, things that you would not think of. Like, you know, growing up, I used to enjoy watching Bugs Bunny, and this kind of reminds me of Bugs Bunny, and that's
Right.
and I come in through a completely different point of view that you have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you get the artist point of view, you kind of understand the artwork a lot better,
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
and you give it the different value.
It enhances the more.
And enhances.
Expands.
Oh,
the,
absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
experience and appreciation. You know, because everybody gets a different thing from it. You don't have to agree with the main message,
Absolutely not.
but if it's like tinkles you inside of you when you look at it. You know, when it gives you bumps and
That's the beauty of art.
That's what matters the most in the art, the satisfaction of the viewer.
Absolutely.
Because the beauty, it's in the eyes of the beholder.
Of course.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%.
As the saying says. You know.
It's an old saying, and it's such a true saying, and it actually, I think it actually goes beyond art. It goes beyond anything. It all has to do with the point of view, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it has nothing to do with whether it's good or bad, or you think it's an amazing artwork or whatever. You know, I always find it funny that people get together and decide that what is considered a masterpiece, what is considered amazing art. You know, I always find it funny that people like Picasso, Botero, you know, even Modigliani, and what was the guy that did the eyes with the eyes? It was not Monet. Was it Modigliani? I think it was Modigliani. I have to look it up. He did the girls with the thin face and the eyes that was supposedly the soul, and you couldn't see the eyes. It was just you know, blank. And then you see all these artworks that you look at them and you think, man, this guy must have been on shrooms or something. Like this guy was not good in the head. I mean,
Yeah.
Dali was definitely not good in the head. And then they become, you know, artworks. They become masterpieces, and you're thinking, Picasso, this is a masterpiece. Like, I mean, like a 5-year-old could do this, right?
Right.
But what you don't realize is that Picasso went through a whole life to get to that point.
Of course.
Right.
You know, he went through his blue era. He went through, you know, he was a true artist.
Yeah.
I mean, meaning he knew how to paint, but he had to learn how to paint and at the same time forget how to paint and then regress back to simplicity of the art.
But also that's another thing. Often you hear when people give their opinions about artworks that are like misunderstood or simplistic, and it looks very simple, like something that you could just
go home and do it.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Do a line, a red line with a little dot.
Sometimes you probably could, but most of the time it only seems that way.
Yeah.
Because you know, like but then you can repeat it.
Yeah.
Him and try to do it, and it might, you know, but
it's not quite the same.
Not quite the same,
No.
but then even like originally to get to the point of that
technique,
it's just not gonna happen. If you're gonna on your own try to do something simplistic, it's still gonna look like shit. But if somebody with experience does something simplistic, it has its form.
Yeah.
And
contrast colors,
and the game of
depth,
colors, some
shading,
and it touches
texture,
you know that there is some order into that nonsense.
Exactly.
That you're looking at it. You know, because you can make abstract that it's disorder on top of disorder.
Oh yeah.
And it's just disorder. You know, but the key of that type of work is to find that balance in between the disorder and
very interesting
order,
which would be a mixture of experience and technique, right? Every artist has their own
and also
technique.
vision. I mean, at the end of the day,
sometimes it could be sometimes
vision.
Sometimes it's just luck too. Like
lack of technique. Look at that.
Luck.
You do something and it just comes out good. That was luck.
But
I have a few luck.
Is it like a
Can you repeat it?
Luck, or you just
made a mistake?
You just open yourself up, release the energy, and you
let it flow
downloading the muse again, and just because it happened to me many times. Like sometimes I would get back home and I took like I'll bring situation from life. I took his iPad and I had the app for drawing on it. And I'm like, I started like dribbling, and at the end I'm looking, this thing looks dope. You know, like it came out like dope.
Good.
Came out good. I was just like, you know, like releasing whatever is inside you, not thinking about it, complete abstract. But like when you're looking at it, it looks good. I still have the screenshot somewhere. I might do the print somewhere in a.
That's funny.
Nice.
That's funny. I remember when I was probably about 16, 17. I was very much into comic books. I love comic books.
Yeah.
And I started writing a comic book called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And the basis of my characters was I had learned to make a face of a person writing the word boy. So you would write the word boy, and then you would go through certain motions, and it would come out a face. So I could repeat that face over and over again. I could make it happy, sad, and so on and so forth. So I started drawing my little comic books, you know. And then I started developing characters. I had, Good, which was basically me, because I thought of myself as a good person at the time. Not anymore. And you want to not anymore. No, I'm not that good anymore. But at the time I was good. Then I had Bad, which was basically a mixture of a demon with a genie, which is about as powerful as you can get. I mean, mixing a genie with a demon. I mean,
I think they're already at the same.
Yeah, power level, and on top of that, they're like, now he's a demon, but he's also got the wishing power, so it's really difficult to deal with. And then I created one called No Name, which was the bad, but his name was No Name because I couldn't think of a name, so I put No Name. I didn't have a name for him.
Very clever.
And he was a mixture of a tornado with Wolverine. He had the claws, but then he had his legs. Because I didn't want to draw that much, and I got lazy, so I made his legs into tornadoes, and it was a lot easier to draw like that. So I could draw it faster,
Right.
So it's hilarious, and I haven't thought of this in years. I have it somewhere, I'll show you if we have time. And
so on a drawing, look like a
tornado.
Yeah, like a tornado.
It's a tornado at all times. It never stopped.
That reminds me from
the
Looney Tunes.
Tasmania.
Tasmania, it's exactly that. So he had an alternative. So I never thought about like how does he piss? Like like it must be like a fucking.
When he pisses, it rains.
It rains everywhere. So yeah, but that would be funny. That would be funny to retake it now as an adult.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did was I started creating characters, but it was funny because the characters I did not. Obviously, after reading millions and millions of comic books, after doing. Watching countless cartoons in the, Saturday morning, or Sunday morning at the time when I was young. We didn't have no Cartoon Network. We had only cartoons on Saturday morning. And
me too. In Poland when I was younger.
Yeah, you too? Okay, so we used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday just to watch cartoons all day, and at noon they would put Tarzan movies, Ultraman, and Godzilla.
We had both Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday? No, we only had Sunday. It was just Sunday. But Sunday it was all day long. Like it was not. My eyes were like red by the end of the day because I was just staring at the TV all day. So, but it was funny because I would create these characters on napkins when I was at school diddling, and I created Wild Thing, for example. It was like a cool panther guy, cheetah, mix of like an animal. I had the one-eye samurai. It was basically a samurai that had one eye. He was a cyclops,
right?
But he was a samurai. And then he had his buddies. It was sumo. It was one guy with one eye. Sumo. He was a big guy. He was a big guy.
With one eye?
They all had one eye. I don't know why they had one eye, but I guess it was easier to draw one eye than draw two eyes. It's faster. And then I had Ginsu.
By one eye on the middle or one?
One eye in the middle.
Okay.
They were cyclops.
Like minions.
Yeah, like minions, exactly. I invented the minions, I didn't even know it. And Ginsu was basically the guy with knives.
Right.
So he was like a ninja with knives. And he also had one eye. What was the other one? I don't remember. But anyway, so it was funny you were saying that, like when you were scribbling, I would scribble in school, or I would be scribbling in the news. Like I had a notebook in an art class, and I would scribble in there. And I started scribbling, and these amazing things came out. I don't know where they came out of. Like I still to this day.
That reminds me another story that I want to bring it up.
Yeah. Go for it.
When I was in elementary school, in my village, in my country, because I'm right next to the city, not the city center, like a town.
What city?
Suburbs of the Torrent, whatever.
Yeah.
Small village. Actually, Napoleon Bonaparte slept in one of the buildings, for real.
Look at that.
in my little village thing. That belonged to the school that I went to, that I'm going to tell the story right now.
That's funny.
So I'm in that school, in the new building, the old building where Napoleon Bonaparte is like 100 years away, whatever. We're on the class of, we called it plasticity. I don't know how to translate directly. Like,
just say whatever comes to mind.
Creative classes, whatever. You do art and stuff. And the main teacher, she gave a task for each one of us to draw your own caricature.
Oh, nice.
I
love that. That was like my favorite thing to do.
And I'm like, I draw something myself, and my friend from behind like, Paweł, please draw something for me. I don't know what to do. What to do, and I'm like, fine. I turn around. I did like a quick dribble.
You got an A+.
No.
You got an A+, didn't you?
Yeah,
you got an A+.
His came out better than yours?
Yeah, no, but the teacher, she knew that it was me,
it was you.
And she's like,
of course,
and she gave the A+ for me.
Oh, did she? Okay, well that's good.
She gave the A+.
At least you got credit for that one.
For me, but it's funny thing, like the one that I did on my own, it was
no good.
Like nothing special,
Yeah.
But the one that I did it for him was so good.
Wow.
And he was like, again, like I didn't think about it. I draw it from the thing and quickly.
Where do you think?
Like 5 seconds.
Where do you think?
And he was so good that she knew.
No.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Where do you think that comes from? Like, what do you think? Because I know what I think, but what do you think it comes from? Because it has to come from somewhere, right?
I think it's a both thing.
It's a what?
It's both things.
What do you mean?
It's not only energy from the universe, from the field, from the frequency of the consciousness, higher self. that aspect is the muse inspiration,
Okay.
but also we need to have something in our genes,
You need to be able to receive that information. Like you need to have like an antenna or something. Like I feel like there's certain people that have that sensibility.
yes,
And being a Cancer moon child, we're both Cancers.
yeah,
I think that we are like we were talking about that the other day. We are emotional Like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
an emotional
Oh,
person.
yeah, I am. Yeah.
Like you know whether I like you or not.
Yeah, yeah.
It takes about 5 seconds looking at my face whether I'm having a good time or I'm not having a good time.
And we can't pretend that.
And I've tried not to pretend.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. I mean, I could do it,
Absolutely.
but it doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
And eventually, if I don't like you, I just feel like I need to tell you I don't like you.
Exactly.
And if I like you, I need to tell you that I like you.
Yeah.
You know, it's either or.
Right.
So there is
Absolutely.
definitely that sensibility towards it. I think.
So
Yeah.
I agree. So
Yeah.
that's why I said it's a both things. Your ability to draw from the higher self, from above information, but it's also the DNA aspect, whatever you inherited from your parents in the past.
Were your parents artists?
Not artists, but they all
Drew.
good with hands.
Okay.
Like my father,
Maybe he was
They're
an artist and he just didn't have the opportunity.
yeah, exactly. No, he
Crafty.
just didn't pursue
Yeah.
it, but he was good in building,
There you go.
building houses.
And that is in a way
and
art.
stuff, craft like that. My mom, she was a seamstress,
Okay.
but also really good with her hands. So like she was
Again, that's art
often
too.
like
That is
promoted in her work because she would find the best way to do
Clean alterations. basically.
some way of sewing
Which
things
is difficult.
in like
No,
yeah.
Sewing is art.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
difficult,
exactly.
yeah.
People that do artwork.
So she
through
was
sewing.
good at that thing. My brothers are really good also, maybe not so much artistically, but with their
hands.
with their hands
Yeah.
and stuff. My oldest brother, he has a full shop. He fixes cars, everything. Engine, the body, painting, electronics.
definitely the
everything.
manual-
And he's one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Like he does an amazing
Wow.
job. Like he's really good. That's where I learned growing up with him. A lot of my skills. You know, like I weld, I do carpentry,
Yeah.
I do electronics. So a lot of that experience from my childhood expressing itself in the art that I do. My second brother, he's really good with hands, but I mean he doesn't do it on daily basis. He's in military, but he's a chef actually, like from education and
Culinary.
Culinary.
That's art. That's
when
definitely
they
art.
send him on the missions, he's a chef for the.
Let me tell you,
know, for
That's
the-
food is
amazing.
art.
It
That's
is art,
amazing.
yeah,
And if anybody tells you any different, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
He's
agree.
a specialist in the pastry,
Yeah.
so he
Oof.
would do the big cakes,
Oh.
beautifully decorated and stuff for weddings and stuff.
Nice.
And I would help him too. Like,
You would help him
when
eat
I- Well,
you would help them eat it.
yeah, no, later too. But no, he cooks amazing.
Talking about
amazing
eating,
stuff,
what did you
like-
think of the Milanesa?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
I know you've had a
we're
lot to
talking
say.
about art. Cooking is beautiful art, and
Yes.
Roxana made beautiful.
So the
delicious-
Milanesa, let's
La Milanesa,
for
delicious.
those people that are
I
tuned
love
in
it. I
for
wish I
the
could
smoke
eat
and
more, but
cigar.
then we would not talk.
No,
you know,
you can eat and talk, no problem. I can talk for all of us. Roxana,
No,
it's an
fantastic.
amazing. Roxana,
Thank you.
did you learn to do it with my mom, or did you know how to do it already?
I knew how to do it.
Okay, did my mom help you perfect it, or how did that
No,
happen? Tell me how that happened.
It just so happened that, I mean, this is not rocket science, right?
Well, it's not rocket science, but it doesn't come out good for everybody.
But
I've had
no,
Milanesas, which I
it so happens that
gracias.
your mother and I did the same exact things.
Okay.
So we prepared it exactly the same. We used the same ingredients.
Oh, boy.
I probably used
I'm
one
in
or
trouble.
two more herbs than she did. Especially because I like to use fresh herbs. You could use dried as well,
Okay.
but I technically prefer fresh herbs.
Okay.
But we did the same thing, so that's why she loved mine, and I loved
No,
hers.
she did love yours. She loved your French fries too. So Milanesa is breaded meat for those that don't speak Spanish. It is probably, in my personal opinion, the cheapest food and the most delicious food
I
you
agree.
could
I love
create.
I love breaded anything, either pork, chicken, or fish. I mean, yeah, I do.
No,
I do
breaded,
all
anything is good.
I
And
do all
fried.
versions.
That is true.
I think that when you fry stuff, it just tastes better. It doesn't matter what it is. But in this case,
Although I mean, I do avoid frying it
you could do it in the oven.
in seed oils.
Yeah.
I usually use coconut oil.
Olive oil. You can use olive oil.
Olive oil, but olive oil you cannot really do high temperature. It's not good.
It tastes good.
Best coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Coconut
I've never
oil,
tried it
you
with
can
coconut
make it
oil.
at
Because you
high
could use
temperatures
coconut
and it's
oil up
healthy.
to 400 degrees
Yeah, that's what I use.
I did not
when
know
I do
that.
my breaded thing, it's
I
always
learned something
coconut
new.
thing.
So
Yeah.
Milanesa, the good thing about Milanesa, this particular one, the way it's traditionally eaten in Argentina, being that I am from Argentina, obviously.
Viva la Argentina!
Viva Argentina! Let's go Messi.
Yeah.
Let's go. We can win another one. I doubt it, but we'll try.
Don't doubt. I know we could win another
Yeah,
one.
we'll
Wait a
see.
minute.
We'll see. We'll see, said the blind man. So Milanesa, French fries, and fried eggs. And not just any fried eggs. You want to fry the eggs in the same oil that you fry the Milanesa. And
Yeah,
why?
so the flavors.
And why is that? Because you get the flavor.
Yeah.
And it becomes, look, what we say in Spanish, el huevo sucio, or the dirty egg.
Huevo sucio.
Huevo sucio.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
dirty egg. So,
Dirty balls.
dirty balls.
Basically.
Yes. It's maybe not,
Huevon!
maybe you don't want to go there, but definitely fried Milanesa, fried French fries, and fried eggs.
Yes.
And you remember this when my mom was still alive.
Yes.
She used to make it, and neighbors and friends used to fight
Over it.
to come over and eat.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I
true.
mean, I'm talking about fight. Like, I mean, they would really be like, no, you invited her last week. Why are you going to invite? Like, it was so good.
They would make a line.
I
Straight
mean,
out
think
of
about
it.
it. She made it for 80 years. She had 12 brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one that cooked, the one that took care of them.
Yeah.
And she did that, throughout her entire life. She was a housewife. And that's what she did. She made freaking Milanesa and French fries and dirty eggs most of her life. My dad loved it. I loved it. So, of course, by the time she got to 80, I mean, that was perfection. And that's art.
Yeah.
That's art at the same time.
Let me just make a
Go for it.
little
Go for it.
clarification,
And
right?
art that you perfecting over and over
Absolutely.
because like it's like me doing this. Like if I just keep doing that piece
You're gonna
over
get
and
better
over
and
for
better.
80 years,
Gonna get better.
at the end it's gonna look just like fucking perfection.
It's
you know,
going to
like
be
it's
perfection. I agree.
Now, Milanesa in Argentina, right? If you're asking for Milanesa, you're obviously
Or breaded meat.
you're expecting breaded meat. Now, obviously, throughout the years, people get crafty and whatnot, so they have now the chicken option, or you know.
They've had that before, baby. They
But
had
it's more typical is steak.
no, steak is definitely
like
the way to
number
go.
one.
I mean, in Argentina,
Number one.
if you don't
you
eat
guys,
steak,
you guys have something like you bread the meat, but in Poland we call it devalose, which is you take the usually chicken
Yeah.
breast, beat
Yeah.
it, to flat it out, and then you put inside cheese and some vegetables, and you wrap it.
oh,
So it's like a cordon bleu.
Wrap it
Yes.
to look like a corn thing, and then
Yes.
bread it,
Oh.
and then
fry it.
fry it. It's delicious too.
Good
Like
Lord.
That sounds
the
good.
cheese
Making me
melts
hungry.
out with the
making me
butter
hungry.
inside.
Nice.
With a little butter. No, it's
Isn't there one?
really good.
Let's not talk
there's-
about that
There's one
anymore.
similar in Germany.
Starving
No?
to
Yeah.
death. No,
Um,
well, so La Milanesa actually, I hate to say this, but it comes from
don't say
Germany. It kind of does.
Don't
kinda,
say it.
I mean, I would have to look this up, but I'm thinking, it probably came to Argentina with the freaking Germans.
with the Nazis,
With the
motherfucking
fucking
Nazis.
nuts.
So you're saying we stole the
Jesus
recipe?
fucking ass, yeah.
Is that what you're saying? We
Well,
stole
I don't
the
know if we
recipe?
stole it. We definitely.
And then Hitler in his bunker
Yeah.
was perfecting
Oh, Jesus.
the recipe.
I don't even want to talk about that. I was watching the other day, Searching for Hitler. Have you seen that show?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
That's why
So
I'm laughing about it.
the funny thing is, the first thing they do is they get on a plane to go to Argentina. Holy crap! Like, go somewhere else, man. Why do you have to go to Argentina?
They did some shit in Brazil too, you know.
But I mean, compared to Brazil, Argentina,
No, of course,
I mean, Argentina was disgusting. I think it was Evita Perón
Yes.
that actually sold their citizenship for gold and allowed the Nazis to arrive in U-boats and submarines, and they would come, you know, all of them.
But they established the things way ahead of that time, because during the Second World War they were exploring the Antarctica.
Well, the Antarctica, there's a big conspiracy that the Third Reich is alive and kicking and there's a city in Chile in the mountains. It's called Hermosa Prodidad, or I gotta look up the name. I will put it on there so you can look it up. That it's literally like being in Bavaria, Germany. And for years they used to torture people there.
Oh no!
Because they're really good at torturing. They have a lot of practice.
Jeez.
Yeah.
We can go actually pretty deep in that subject. I do believe there's something into that aspect that they established bases in Antarctica.
Yes.
And idea is
even in the moon.
Yeah.
Even in the moon.
Yes.
Which that's a whole different ballgame.
The idea is that they developed the technology, the Germans, of anti-gravity thing, because they were working on the belt. That was at the south of my country, in Poland.
I remember in Poland.
We saw that
the
documentary,
place where they
didn't
were
we?
testing the Glock and and but all the knowledge. But did you know that all the knowledge about that technology was received by a group of girls that were called a Vril Society.
Okay.
And the main person was Marina.
From where?
She was actually German, but she was a Nordic descent.
But they were like clairvoyant.
Yeah. She was like a very powerful medium. Her name was.
It'll come to you. Don't worry about it.
Ursunovich, Marina Ursunovich, something like that. But she was the head, most powerful psychic, and they had a group. They called it a Vril Society, and they were doing the seances for the
to get in touch with these beings,
to download the information. For the German Reich thing. The thing that they were used for that, but they didn't want to be in it. Obviously, they were probably
I understand.
forced to it. Whatever.
Well, I think a lot of them were like that.
Yeah.
I think a large majority it was just the money and the power that attracted them to be able to do their projects.
So the Vril Society was mixed with another society, the secret German high rank SS thing was called Thule. Thul, Thule.
Those are the guys that are looking for the spear of destiny and all the powerful
They
relics.
really believed in the occult things and stuff, and they had accumulated knowledge and history from the past. That's why they were.
Who knows what they accumulated? They really were.
They were
the Ark of the Covenant. They were going after.
Very interesting.
So they were
Indiana
looking for all
Jones,
those answers in many places. That's why they had those missions everywhere. But the main idea about the thing in Antarctic is that they were developing those tremendous technologies like the anti-gravity and stuff, obviously looking for the atomic bomb as well.
Of course.
But they developed those technologies, but not enough to win the war. So they lost the war, but they had the technology. So they supposedly escaped to the Antarctica. Throughout those times they built the bases and they kept developing those technologies, and supposedly they created so-called runaway civilization, which is they separated themselves from the main civilization that we have, because it's so way above and beyond that they're using it in order to gain control over the world.
So like being off the grid type of thing.
Off the grid, exactly.
Okay.
But also it allows them to become like
more
so powerful that not only they control the world, but also they can go beyond.
Wow.
So supposedly like they were able to master the free energy devices and all that stuff, and most of the UFO sightings and all that stuff.
I was about to say
our
that.
technology.
I was about to say
it's
that.
Them.
It's them doing it.
It's them. It's
Yeah.
just like they showing, like you can't fuck with us, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever you want. Yeah.
And it's supposedly based on an idea that.
But see, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me that these old UFOs that we're seeing are really our own technology.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the vastness of space, it takes about 150 years light speed to get out of our solar system.
Yeah.
So unless you develop, wormhole technology, we're talking about physics, we're talking about, giga ridiculous amount of billions of energy
to bend space like that.
Yeah, you're talking black holes, you're talking, this is so far away, it's not even funny. If any civilization was able to actually acquire that knowledge and come here, we would be ants to them.
Right.
We would be less than ants. We would be squashed in 5 seconds. It's not even a fight. So I don't think that's the case.
Me too. I
don't think that's the
believe
case at
it's
all.
local.
I think it's local too.
I think it's all local. Although, like through the perspective of like millennia and stuff, there is a lot of evidence in Sumerian tablets and everything.
Yeah.
That it all started with another civilization on.
Yeah, but that's
on one of the
different
planets
topic.
in our solar system, because that's what the history says. The Anunnaki came from the Tiamat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tiamat used to be a big planet.
Yes.
That was.
Which is possible that a planet has a rotation of, let's say, 300, 400 years, and it goes close.
Oh, you're talking about right now about the Nibiru.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's mentioned.
Which
there.
makes sense. That if a planet has a rotation around our planet, that it's at 300, 400, 1,000 years.
3,600 years.
And when it gets close, then they're obviously close enough to be able to jump over.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And it's rotating around the
solar system.
Brown dwarf,
Correct.
so-called, because most of the solar systems are dual.
Correct. That we know of.
Single that we know of, but
that's been communicated.
But a lot of astronomers suspect that we are actually dual as well.
This is something I don't know if you've visualized it, if you've seen it. So, the way they show the solar system is the sun is in the middle and the planets are rotating around the sun. This is such a incorrect thing that it's not even funny.
No, it's traveling in a spiral.
Yes, in a spiral.
Yeah.
So basically think of
it's all moving constantly.
Correct.
Yeah.
So think of the sun as you're throwing a baseball.
Yeah.
And around that baseball, there are little pieces of grain going around that baseball.
Yeah, accompanying
that baseball.
Yeah.
But they are going around because they're sticking around that baseball because of the gravity pull.
Right.
And they're staying around it, but they're traveling at a ridiculous amount of speed.
Like a curveball?
No, not a curveball. This is a straight ball. You're throwing a straight ball. You're throwing it in space. There's no gravity, so therefore it's going on forever. And then around that ball, there is planets going around it.
Yeah,
but it's traveling.
But the sun is not traveling in a straight line either. It goes up and down.
Yes.
On the galactic plane.
Correct. That's even worse.
This cycle. It's called the Great Year. It's 25,920 years.
Going up and down.
Where the sun goes to the bottom and through the galactic plane of the Milky Way to the top.
Okay. So we're definitely down the rabbit hole. We're definitely down the rabbit hole. So I gotta ask you. I've been watching a lot of ancient civilizations.
Yeah.
And the Tellele Tepe they found in Turkey, I think. Göbekli Tepe. They found it in Turkey.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Because it's way too advanced for the time that it's supposed to have been created. This is
12,500 years.
It's ridiculous.
This is what our evenings consist of, by the way.
The what?
This is what our evenings consist of.
Yes, I know. Yeah. It should consist of something else, but it's not. It's this.
No, I love this subject, right?
Well, I know you love it. I love it. And I find it interesting because there are definitely clues out there.
Yeah.
You know, and Neil Grace, the scientist, said something that I love.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. I
Yes.
don't like him that much.
Well, I do like him, and I like him. I'll tell you why. Because he only deals with facts.
Right.
He doesn't deal with stipulations or
Mm-hmm.
observations. No, he just deals with facts. But
a lot of those facts even are like.
But no, those facts are based on somewhat
Yeah.
information. But that's what science is. The best information we have right now, that's the conclusion we come with what the best we have.
Right.
As time goes by, we've acquired more information, and with the more information, we have more clarity and more understanding.
Right.
But the only way you can advance is by acquiring more information. You can't advance by just guessing or having faith in something is the way it is.
True.
But there are things that we can't explain. And that's when we start getting into the gray areas of, you know, like, for example, and something he said that I agree with is that if you look at all the pyramids that survived so far, it's because the pyramid is the best structure.
Yeah, the most stable.
The most stable.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if there's an earthquake, it doesn't matter if there's a flood, it doesn't matter what it is. It's because of the structure of a pyramid, it's the most logical structure to make.
Yeah.
Now, he says there was probably a lot of other structures, and that makes sense to me because there were, you know, the seven wonders of the world.
Yeah.
Most of them didn't survive.
Yeah.
And we know they existed, but they didn't survive. So I'm sure there were other structures that, you know, the time just took them away.
Yeah.
You know, floods took them away, earthquakes took them away, you know, fires
Yeah.
took them away.
Not only flats and stuff, but we also forgetting that we have in the history of the planet periods where the
It rotates.
magnetic fields
Yes.
changes,
Yes.
and the whole outer layer of the planet slips on its core, and where used to be a north.
Or the poles change.
Yeah, no, that's what
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
It's well documented that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
this happened in the past, like
Which is not good for us.
120,000 years ago or something
God
like
we
that.
only
was the
lived
last
for 50,
time
50,
where
60 years.
Where the magnetic poles flip,
That would be a bad day.
and there's a movement of the, you know, the top layer on the magma
A
of the
shift.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it causing tremendous
Oh, no.
earthquakes
Well,
and whatever, and
it erases
what
everything.
used to be a equator now it's on the fucking South Pole.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Now, would
some-
you say
something
it's
like
that? What? So
so supposedly something like that happened in like 12,500 years ago, where there was a huge civilization that we had that built all the pyramids and all that
Talking about
stuff.
Atlantis.
okay,
Atlantis, yeah.
the one that went underwater.
Well,
It could have
ended up-
been
So
because
they say.
of that shift that
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Because if it was located somewhere that was normally near the equator and then flipped,
that makes sense.
and now it's in Antarctica.
Now you're done.
That's where I'm connecting.
You're
like,
done.
And now everything is under ice
Yeah.
for thousands of years, under fucking 2 miles of ice.
Yeah, forget it.
Okay.
You know, that's why we don't see it, because it's
But
underwater.
you don't even have to go that far. If you
Okay.
go to India,
Yeah.
in India,
But most of it, it's not.
most of
not
it's
that-
underwater.
Yeah.
Like if you go into India, you go into 50, 100 feet of water. There's a bunch of freaking,
Yes.
and they don't even let you go in there. The Indian government
yeah.
will not let you go down there.
The level of the oceans rose
Oh, yeah.
400
Well, that we know.
feet since the peak of the last ice age. So and we build civilizations usually at the coast because it's
That's what we do. That's what we do.
So
Correct.
So most of the thing is underwater, and we don't look there. We don't
Miami
look there,
is
you know?
about to go underwater anyway.
No, we're not.
So they
don't think so?
say
No,
there's
we're
so
not.
many different.
We're not gonna go. Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon,
Not
but it
anytime
will
soon.
eventually go underwater.
That-
I
but
mean,
it still
Miami,
will.
Florida was underwater. And I'll tell you why I know this. Because I have been to Crystal River.
Where is Crystal River?
Crystal River
Up
is
north,
up
past
north.
the Tampa, Clearwater.
Yes,
and-
Clearwater. It's near Okeechobee Lake.
Yeah.
And if you go to the canals there, we did like, you know, sifting for gold.
Uh-huh.
And you find handful of shark petrified teeth.
Yeah.
in that area.
I'm talking about handful. I'm not talking about a little bit. I'm talking about handful.
in
No,
that
the
area.
whole Florida.
It's ridiculous.
The whole Florida Panhandle
Yes.
is coral reef.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a sand.
Absolutely.
The
So it was on the water at one point.
Yeah, before,
there's
yeah.
no point. There's no denying that. There's no denying that. You know, you find arrowheads. You find megalodon shark teeth.
yeah.
Wow.
Which, of course, if you find
Wow.
that shit, it's like finding, you know, it's like winning the lotto. It's
No,
like $300,
absolutely.
$500.
And at the same time, you know, the 12,000 years ago that we're talking about when the
And that's
Egyptian
nothing.
civilization built the
Yeah.
pyramids and stuff, Sahara was a
It was a busting jungle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So things
It's
are
very
changing.
interesting. It's very interesting. Now, let's change the subject a little bit because we can go on all night about this. I know I could.
But going back to that subject
for
really
it.
quickly, I don't know if you heard about a guy Ben. I forgot his last name, but he has a channel called Uncharted X.
Oh yeah,
He was a frequent. He was a guest
seen
at Joe Rogan
I've seen
and with Runner Carson
Yes,
and
yes.
and he is the first one that was able to do the test of the multiple vases from Egypt that are pre-dynastic,
Yeah.
which are the oldest vases
Yeah.
that were found in
Area.
burial
then.
areas,
Yeah.
whatever. They found thousands of them. They call pre-dynastic because they're before the known
Yes.
dynasties, and they did the test of them using light spectrum spectroscopy, whatever 3D scanners that
Okay.
they use in aerospace industry to make sure the quality of the parts that they make for the space shuttles and everything.
Yeah.
So it has to be perfection, you know. So they use those spectroscope using light 3D scanning thing. So they did the test on those, and they comes out perfect.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
they come. It proved that they were done with machine equal to like computer-driven CNC
That's
5-axis machine.
Well, they were
Wow.
they were
Yes.
saying and again, I could talk about this all night, but
Yeah.
one thing that machinists and people that work with computers and work with stone today,
Yeah.
they were saying that if you look at the Egyptian sculptures,
Yeah, the pre-antiquity, the old
they are
ones.
symmetrical,
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
That's
The difficulty of you getting something symmetrical
I'm an
is
artist, you know, like-
ridiculous.
like if I did it this by hand, you know,
Yeah.
like if we like
No, it
measure,
would never be
it would never
symmetrical.
be like
No.
perfect. And when they
But that's the
do
beauty
it,
of it too.
It's-
But in Egyptian art, it's all symmetrical.
Yes.
Like if you split an image and you put the image and you separate and you put two images, like if you look at my face and you split it,
it's a copy of itself.
I have a negative, I have a
Yeah.
fat face and I have a skinny face.
Yeah, we all do.
Let
Like
me
We
see.
all love
Let me look at you again. Just kidding.
no, but
No, I
but
do.
it's do.
Everybody does.
It's funny. Like
Nobody's
the,
perfect.
The best way to see it, you take
I
the
mean,
selfie of
Argentinians are a
yourself,
little bit
and
funny.
then you do the negative.
Yeah.
You do the negative, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, why do I look like that?
You look fat as fuck or you look skinny as fuck.
No, not no.
You warp.
You see the
Yeah.
warp on your face
Yeah.
that you normally have. But yeah, in Egyptian
You do not have
iconography
that,
and all of
which
that,
is-
it's perfection.
Which is ridiculously difficult to do. I mean, it has to be a machine. There is
Yes.
no other real
So in those vases,
You
in
can't
those
do it by hand.
vases, they are made out of most hard stones. Not only
Granite.
There's few other stones that he mentioned that are even harder than granite.
than that.
Yes.
And they're laid in a way that the inner walls, they're empty from the inside. The walls are thick like
Half an inch.
like a.
Is that the one, the base that you can actually see light from
No,
behind it?
that's another one.
That's pretty
another
cool.
one. But the ones look that thick, like 1/16 of an inch thick. You will never achieve something like
It's
that with the
impossible.
chisel
It's impossible.
and shit.
It's
You,
impossible.
you need so but that's not even the key
Yeah.
to the thing. The walls are so thin, but then it has handles.
Yeah. That's
It
right.
has
I know what you're talking about.
handles.
I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking
You
about.
cannot
We saw.
achieve something like that
It's insane.
because you can build a lathe
Yeah.
even if you
Yeah.
have a primitive thing. You can build a lathe that would spin it in one direction and you could carve it, something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Okay.
but
it wouldn't be the same.
But to get to
no,
that point,
but in order to keep the handles on it while you're
and
spinning,
the handles are part
It's
of it.
Okay.
part of it.
It's not like
it's
they were
from
glued on.
Yeah, it's from one
It's
stone.
one stone.
Now-
That suggests that it's another axis of the, which
It's
is
a completely different monster.
it's just
Yeah.
you need to have a computer
What is
driven.
Which show did we
thing.
watch that
show?
was mentioning the materials, or they were trying to question which materials were used civilizations before us, because there's so many different architectural objects in the
Yeah.
world that exist.
But that's
till
another
this
thing.
day.
That's another thing. The reason why we have a hard time to finding proof of that high civilization, because probably it was based on something else.
Yeah.
Our high technology right now is based on
don't-
silica
Correct,
and computer
correct.
chips and
But don't even go that far. Think
Magnetic
about Tesla.
fields,
Think about
they could have-
Tesla. Think
Yeah.
about Tesla utilizing the electricity in the air.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That by itself
what
already-
That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's a completely different concept of idea
Yeah.
that we don't even understand. What do you mean there's electricity in the air?
yeah.
Static electricity is everywhere.
No,
Yeah.
the
You feel it.
potential
Potential energy.
electric
Yeah.
electric potential.
Yeah.
It's called. It's everywhere
Absolutely.
around us.
I agree. There's
So-
definitely a lot out there that we need to find out. But what I really want to find out is what is this bottle that's standing right there?
Right, yeah.
We need to talk about that.
And the hat.
And the hat.
that-
Look at these
that
fancy,
that we
schmancy
have.
hat. What is
Yeah.
this brand that you brought us up?
Exactly, you're right. So, as you guys can see, maybe on the camera, this bottle is decorated.
I'll put up the pictures. I'll
This
put up the
bottle is
website.
decorated by me as well. It has projectiles out of guns shooting out of the
Because
the
they
bottle,
are what? What are they?
Like projectiles from
Projectiles.
the
But
projectiles.
because you're taking what?
Taking shots.
Taking shots.
Taking
That
shots
is very
Makes sense.
clever.
That
out
is
of that
very
bottle and the liquid inside.
What's the name of the
So
vodka?
the name of the vodka is called Amnesia Vodka.
Amnesia.
I wish I had
spelled
amnesia the
with
last
double
30 years.
E, double I, not the E.
E
not,
would be
not
in
like amnesia.
Amnesia.
When you forget.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a
You
little
don't
bit
wanna
different
forget.
meaning of it. But anyway, yeah, this is a vodka that I'm invested in, and it's created by my best friend, and it will be the best.
Where is the
vodka
vodka
in the
coming
world.
from? Where is it produced?
It's being distilled in one of the distilleries in Poland.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't know if you
nice.
guys familiar. Vodka is probably the oldest alcohol, and it comes
Yes.
originally from Poland.
Yes.
Like we're the
It
oldest
doesn't come
ones.
from
yeah.
Russia?
It's originally
Get
from
outta
Poland.
here.
I don't know. Maybe we can
Wow.
fight about
Oh
who was
my
first.
gosh.
who
No
was
fighting, no fighting.
second,
No way.
But, I think
No
we were
fighting.
first, because I'm gonna root for myself.
Okay.
But overall, Polish vodka or
better
very
than the
famous
Russian.
I've never
around the
heard
world.
of Polish vodka.
Me
You never
neither.
heard? No, we
I've
have one of the
never
best
heard of
vodkas
Polish
around the
vodka.
world, but this one
I'm
will
not a
be
vodka drinker,
This
I'll be
one will
honest.
be the number one.
You think so?
And you
Okay.
guys can check it out.
You heard it here first.
You can buy it on remediesliquor.com at the moment,
put the links
or
up.
directly on our website,
Nice.
amnesia.com or
There you go.
buyamnesia.com, as you see it on the
Got these nifty
the-
little hats here.
little
Very
hats.
nice.
They're pretty cool.
And I'm telling you guys, this is the best liquor you will ever try when it comes to vodka. It's we got rid of bad
You-
taste in it. That
So
normal,
you told me
normal
that
alcohol
you have different flavored vodka.
Yeah, this is not original number one. The typical vodka is a black bottle. This is a flavor one. It's a pear flavor. I just use it to show the decorations on it. But we have
Okay.
a variety of flavors: pear,
Oh, wow.
pineapple, coconut.
Nice.
But the best one, the premium one, they're called Grand Voyage.
Grand Voyage.
And there's a Grand Voyage Silver and Grand Voyage Gold, which is
Top it,
Grand Voyage Rosé flavor vodka.
Nice.
Very nice.
And this one is my favorite.
Now, rosé comes from what? From
delicious.
flowers? From what?
Yeah, we use actually juice from the
From flowers.
fruit of the
Okay.
rose flower.
Nice.
We have a few other elements that I'm not gonna
We can't
Off the
tell you all
record.
our secrets.
tell you about, because
Top secret, top
it brings
secret.
the amazing flavor all
Nice.
together with it. But
Nice.
the major thing is rosé. and it's delicious. It's the first vodka that is truly rosé, because we have champagnes, we
Of
have
course.
wines. but
I've never
vodkas-
heard of a vodka rosé.
No,
I
so
gotta
we
be honest
have
with
the
that.
first one,
That'll
and
be
I'm telling
interesting
you,
to try.
you're gonna try, George, and delicious.
I'm looking forward
It's my
to it.
favorite. You can sip it warm without squeaking like, oh, there's something
What?
wrong
You
with
said
it.
Hopefully
warm.
they'll want to sponsor this podcast.
So you
Yes,
said, wait a
I'll-
second, because usually you don't drink
I'll provide some
vodka
bottles for.
Wow.
warm.
Wow.
So you,
I put you in the
typically,
spot
if you
there.
drink
I put you in the
vodka, you
spot.
drink it with ice, right?
Yeah, I mean you can, but this one I'm telling you, you can drink it by itself, and it's.
Listen, I'll promote the shit out of it.
No,
I'll take
Nice.
it everywhere I go.
Well, first we got to
absolutely.
try it too.
Our next
right?
podcast is going to be at the Cigar at Stogie's in Kendall. So, we can
Yeah.
always have a little vodka. We always say,
Absolutely.
I almost forgot, we always have the Pistolina wine also.
Oh, that's a
another
very good
sponsor.
wine.
Oh, how did I forget that one?
That's a very good wine.
That's a good wine. I'll put it here too. It has nothing to do with vodka. It's a completely different product. But the Pistolina is an amazing wine, 2016. What is it? I forgot.
Pistolina.
I had too much scotch. But I'll put it up there. You guys can look at it. But going back to the vodka. If you're a vodka drinker, this might be your thing. This is looking like it's going to be the future of vodka.
I'm
based
excited.
on what
The
I've heard so
bottle
far.
is very, very nice.
No, the bottle's
No, it's very
gorgeous.
It's
sexy.
different.
Yes,
Uh,
very sexy.
I did see on
very,
the website.
Very, very much visually. You know what you're getting. Like I've never seen a bottle like that.
You've
Have you
had
seen a
some
bottle
nice
like that
bottles,
before?
though.
No, I mean there's some in a similar thing, but nothing sexy like that. It's
No.
just the shape maybe, but not the.
I think I really like it.
finish,
I
you know.
really like it. I'm looking forward to. When are you guys fully going to be out there in the market?
It's already available to purchase, but the delivery will be about 2 weeks on
So it's
April 15, but
okay.
it's already available to pre-order on remediesliquor.com.
you got to get us
Nice.
a discount or something, some code or something, so we can promote it.
Hey,
Yeah, get it here right away.
you gotta let me know. And
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put it up. We'll definitely provide it to our listeners.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's face it. This is an amazing opportunity to start. From something that it's just getting started, really, right? This has been about what, 2 years, 3 years in the process.
developing, but in a like public eye and stuff, about a year.
Okay, excellent. So you heard it here first. So what did you think about the Milanesa? Let's go back to the Milanesa.
Absolutely delicious. It reminds me of my childhood because
Really?
yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Because my
Jesus.
family, I told you earlier when you were preparing
Yeah.
the thing, we always cook this way. We even shared our different way of
Yeah.
preparing the
I know
breaded,
his trick.
the breaded
You know
He
his
knows
thing.
trick.
mine.
Oh wow.
And I absolutely love it.
I would like to know your
because,
trick, too.
It's one of my favorite ways to eat.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I did
love
not
it.
know that.
So, thank you, Roxana.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's really good. Well, yeah. I mean, I've been enjoying the Milanesa now for how long have we been together now? Oh, this is
Quite some
embarrassing. Oh shit. Back.
That's a question for you to answer because
boy.
I know it off the back of my
7 years, 8 years.
head. It will be
You're in
7
trouble.
years.
Which one is
It-
in for trouble?
No.
He is correct. It will be
I'm not
7
getting any
years.
tonight.
He is correct.
7 years. I knew that. I was just kidding. Okay. So, one of the things that we share in common is we both enjoy cooking.
Yeah.
And I think cooking is such a giving thing, because if you enjoy cooking, there's one thing that you enjoy more than cooking, and that is looking at people's faces when they eat the food.
I agree. The enjoyment, yes.
Oh yeah, the enjoyment of the food to me is such a basic need.
It's similar to. I mean, it's the same thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, with my art,
Yeah.
like when I display my artworks on the events and in the galleries, and
People come
when
and-
people enjoy it, it's just such a great feeling to bring the
You bring joy.
admiration and enjoyment
Yeah,
in their
absolutely.
hearts, and like the fact that it changes them
Yes.
inside for the better and bring the joy. The joy.
I think you
most
said.
important
I mean,
part.
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to explain because I'm one of the things that besides the podcast, which I love doing these podcasts. One thing that I really enjoy is cooking. And one thing I really like to do
I enjoy it too. It just
is
recently-
barbecue.
Well,
I love doing barbecue.
you need to do a little correction.
What?
Doing a barbecue is not called a cook, right?
I don't know about that. You have to know what you're doing.
So,
I mean-
un parrillero.
Parrillero is the same thing as a cook.
It's just a different,
Just a different style of
cooking.
cooking.
It's just a cooking, different style of cooking.
So we are doing on March
But you're
29th.
so good at the barbecues.
Thank
Like
you.
I really
Thank you. I
enjoyed
appreciate
all of
Very,
your
very
barbecues
good.
at the Nirvana.
I got a little crack. I got a little crack.
He's always
Thank you, thank
ready and
Oh, no, I love it.
Like-
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. I'm
The
like,
whole
it's
process, the
it's
way
like
you start the
playing an
fire.
instrument. It's like
That's
doing
true.
a concert.
Like,
It's
you
the same
got
thing
it.
as doing a concert or
Yeah.
like I just I get in the zone and I just zone out.
Mm-hmm.
And all the problems in my life, all the great things in my world, all the future, it's just you're living in the moment.
Wait, even the great things go away?
Everything goes away. Everything
Wow,
goes away.
Good to know.
Good, bad, ugly, it all goes away, and it's just in the moment. You're there.
yeah.
You're
You-
100% of your attention is to that, and then
That's
once
what
you're
it's called.
finished,
Called the flow.
is that what it's called?
I think that's what it's, when
Or in
you're
the
like
zone? You're
fully in the zone, in the moment, and right
That's it.
now.
That's what I am. I'm in the now.
That's when you're in the flow.
That's it.
Interesting.
100%.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit about anything. The world could be on fire. I would not affect me in that moment. I
No.
wouldn't know. I wouldn't realize it.
No, it wouldn't negatively affect you, but
No.
but you would
Oh, if you're on
participate
fire,
in
you
the
would
best
hurt.
way in it because you would be in the
Mm-hmm.
flow. When you're in the flow, you find answers to the questions
Anything.
immediately.
Immediately.
Like everything just,
It's just
happens
perfect.
perfectly
Yeah.
with each other. Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden, you know what to do in order to prevent this. But
Yeah. It's like that.
Impromptu.
that's
Absolutely,
the
absolutely.
thing.
And and at first, like any I think in any human being, we tend to question ourselves and we tend to think about, I invited my friend, my family over for dinner, and I made a dinner, and they're like, oh my God, this is so good, this is great, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, well, they're being courteous, they're being nice, they're being polite, they're, eating, they might be eating something that they don't enjoy. You don't know.
Well, it depends on the family because my family is very sincere.
Your family's very special.
We're not
My
doing
family's
live.
very
So can I
sincere.
take a break, like to
No.
go pee? 'Cause
No, you can't go pee. You gotta pee in your pants.
You could take a break. Have them take a break.
Go pee if you gotta pee. Go
I
pee.
gotta go pee.
Go pee.
Go
pee. Go pee.
I want to hear you.
First time.
I wanna
First
hear
time
your-
that we got a
your
podcast
thing,
that's going to pee. Don't break anything on their way to pee. And I'm like, well, it happens. It happens to this. Go take your spot. Come on, get your spot. But don't trip on any of the wires. Okay, put on the headphones. So what's your name, young man?
Mikwai.
You gotta talk to the microphone.
Mikwai.
Mikwai, and you are?
Pavel's son.
Pablo's son.
How old are you?
10.
10.
I'm gonna be 11 in May.
11 in May. And
So
what
you're
grade
10
are
and
you
a
in?
half.
I'm in 4th grade.
4th grade. And what's going on in 4th grade nowadays?
Not much.
Not much.
What do you love about school?
Not much.
No, should not be the answer.
Well, I don't know.
The other thing I like about school is that we have PE and we play fun games at PE.
You like
Wait
PE.
a second. Wait a second.
You're
Your
like
favorite
me. You
subject
enjoy
is PE?
I agree with you. PE is freaking fun as hell.
But it can't be the favorite subject.
What about the
right?
second favorite subject?
Science.
Okay, very nice. Very
High five.
nice.
High five. What do you like about science?
I like about it is I only like about it because I'm good at it.
Okay.
I understand it very well.
Do you like
Okay.
the research about it? Do you get to try different experiments and come up with different conclusions and hypothesis and so forth?
The hypothesis and the conclusions.
Oh. Have you done any type of exciting experiment lately?
Not
Not
really.
yet.
No, they
Okay.
don't let you do much of exploding stuff anymore, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
My
Oh.
son took over.
It took over. Your
Kind
son
of,
took
yeah.
over. He's actually more interesting than you are.
That's awesome. Yeah, he is.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you
cheers.
again for joining us. You got a big kiss. Look at that. That's nice. Let
Thank you for your
let daddy go ahead.
participation.
Let me finish.
Maybe we'll do a podcast just with you next time.
Okay.
There you go.
When you famous soccer.
And his favorite soccer, where you could try to get him to play soccer.
No, he's making himself.
Oh
Nice.
No, he
He's a good
loves it.
soccer player. What
Nice.
position you play?
I play CDM or center back.
Center back. Nice. You like Messi or you like Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Oh, come
you
on.
bastard. I don't like him anymore.
And Lewandowski.
Special.
Man.
Yeah.
I liked you for about 20 minutes and then you fucked it up. It's okay. I actually don't like Messi that much.
Hey, I do.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Argentina. I'm sorry, Argentina.
We're gonna erase that part.
We're
okay?
not gonna erase it. We're gonna leave it on
Let's
there.
erase that part.
We're not gonna leave it there. I'm not a Maradona guy. I'm a Maradona guy. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I grew up with
It's a
him.
different era.
That's my boy.
It's okay.
Yeah, it is what
You
it
can
is.
love
And I was
Maradona.
stupid walking in front of the camera too.
It's all right. It's all
You
right.
didn't cut it out, right?
Listen, it's perfectly fine. We're not gonna cut anything out because I
You
don't
gonna
know
give it
how to.
raw?
I don't know how to edit. So
You can
Let's
give
do
it
it
raw.
raw. Let's do
Raw?
it raw.
it's raw and
gonna be raw.
live in your face.
Raw. Yeah.
Okay, raw footage.
So tell me a little bit more about this vodka because I'm really interested. So you're part owner of this business.
I'm
This-
an investor. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm an
well,
investor.
I mean that's part owner.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's 30%, 50%, or 100%. You're owner.
Right.
But it's a great. You came really excited today
No, yeah. No,
about it.
Really good things.
You seem really excited
happening
about
around
it. You seem like it's going to go somewhere. You told me it was a very good vodka. What makes you think it's a really good vodka?
Well,
Besides drinking a lot
Compared
of
to
it.
others without mentioning others.
Yeah, we
but
don't-
if
we
you
don't
remember
mention
at
anybody
the
else.
beginning, I mentioned that I used to work in the nightclubs as a bartender
Ah.
Yes.
and stuff. So
Yes.
as a
Horrible
bartender,
job. Horrible
You tried a
job.
few.
Depressing.
I have the experience
I'm
in,
sure nobody hit on
in
you ever.
tasting a lot of liquor,
Okay.
boy.
and
good,
and
bad,
I've
and the
tried most of the best ones out there when it comes to vodka.
Okay.
And that's why I'm telling you, it's one of the best one. We compare it to few of the best brands like the Russian Standard
Okay.
and the Skull.
Okay.
Okay.
Skull.
Skull
Skull.
thing.
is-
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that the Skull is pretty good. I will give it, but
Yeah. You
our-
think this gives a competition?
Yes.
Do
absolutely.
you
wow.
do you have an
It's-
aftertaste even
What's
though?
the, what,
That's
why,
the-
why
that-
does it give a competition? Like, I
that-
don't know anything about vodka. I don't think
We
maybe
don't really
some of
drink
my
vodka.
listeners do, but I don't personally know anything about vodka. What makes it better?
That's what
Okay.
Roxana
Ding, ding,
mentioned
ding.
for
Roxana-
a
Roxana
second. Yeah,
has
the
all the good
aftertaste.
questions.
We get rid of that
Yeah.
by the way it's filtered
Okay.
and treated in special towers that sits and the gases are pumped from the bottom and it ventilates and evaporates all the bad smells. Then it goes through process of 69 with the
Oh, wait a
69.
second.
My
Wait a
favorite
second.
number.
Okay.
6 times filter and 9 times distilled, or I'm not sure right now
backwards.
which way
It's all right.
it
You've
is,
had a
but
lot
it's
of it, vodka.
69. The final one, it goes through diamonds. It's filtered through diamonds.
Oh.
But there's also
I'm sorry, you said it filters through diamonds?
yeah, through diamonds.
Really?
There's like a bath of diamonds?
It says
Yeah,
it- what?
we actually have to
Hold on
buy
a second. Hold on a second.
bunch of.
This is very.
But
I've
diamond
never
gas.
heard of this.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of
I
this?
have not. I'm not.
Well, you
I'm not
have
a
never
vodka
heard of it.
You have
drinker
normal
technically,
carbon
but
filters, right? You have
I know
normal.
what carbon is.
Yeah.
Diamonds. I mean,
Diamond
they're
is a
made from
carbon.
carbon. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean,
but
it's
then-
filtered through actual diamonds.
Now, is that a normal process?
But like a
That's not a
diamond,
normal
like
process.
a diamond dust thing. It's not a.
Oh yeah. It's not actual
not-
diamonds.
They are diamond, but it's a
It's dust of diamonds.
dust.
Diamond dust.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's like a final
Okay.
process.
the
You heard it here
diamond
first.
dust.
Yeah.
That would be a
This is
good.
very
That would be a good
interesting.
name for a vodka.
yeah.
Diamond dusted vodka.
And then on top
I
of
want.
it,
I want royalties on that one.
there's another secret process that
That's
we
a
keep.
secret.
Unknown.
It's a secret.
It's the unknown.
Yeah.
We can't tell you what
Very
the
nice.
secret
Can
is.
tell you
We can tell you, but then we have to shoot you.
in a secret, but
That'll be
secret
off the
room.
record.
that what it's also the way of distilling and preparing the final
Interesting.
thing that helps in the taste and the flavor.
I'm excited to try it because I'm not huge on vodka.
You're not huge on vodka? Red Bull and
I-
vodka, that used to get me dancing till 3 o'clock in the morning.
You know, this one, it's I think it's gonna be
Before.
like a game changer for a lot of people because we have experienced many like new things in alcohol. Like tequila used to be shitty. Casamigo
That's true.
changed
That's true.
it.
Tequila was shitty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Casamigo changed it. That's what we're doing with the vodka.
Nice.
You know, like most of the vodkas are like, yeah, there are some good, but
Yeah, I
they're
agree.
game changers.
I
This
agree.
is a game
Okay.
changer.
I agree.
Other brands,
Yeah, I agree.
I'm
No,
mentioning-
definitely. I think that when you offer a good product, there is people will actually recognize that it's a good product.
yeah. You know, this one it's not only looks good,
Yeah.
it looks fucking sexy. It's
It
Well,
does look
we
sexy.
saw the website, and you
yeah.
have
When you go on the
beautiful
website, when you
bottles.
see the rest of the
No,
bottles,
the website
they're
is
so
ridiculous. I'll put the
sexy.
website down here for people to check it out.
Yeah,
I mean, the website is
Beautiful,
ridiculous.
No, the
Like it
bottles
makes
are.
you wanna makes you wanna own the bottle just to have it in your house.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
It's
like-
very,
as a-
it's very
to
bling
collect it.
bling.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sexy,
it's very bling bling,
and
yes.
sexy.
And if the
But-
vodka is good on top
But
of
that's the
forget
whole
it.
point. The moment you try the vodka, it's a game
That's
over.
it,
You know,
you're
like
done.
Nice.
fuck, like this
Nice.
thing is so
That's
good.
awesome.
you
That's
know?
awesome.
It apparently also has, well, I don't know if every vodka is the same. Again, I'm not huge on vodka, but apparently it has many properties for a woman to consume it, actually.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
tell. Do tell. What kind of properties?
Yeah.
She has no idea.
Listen, it was
She has no
apparently,
Just-
apparently,
Pull that out of
you
her-
could, if you have more insight, please, by all means, share. Apparently it has
does it?
many beneficial
Makes you
properties
dance
in the
sexier.
shush.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
It
My
has
bad.
beneficial properties in the female organism.
Organism?
It helps
You're talking
clean.
about the vajiji?
Female organism.
Well,
I don't know.
It helps clean and
Do you
flush
know something
out.
about this or?
two of our premium ones,
Oh.
I didn't mention, they contain nanoparticles of silver and platinum,
Okay.
edible silver and
Okay.
platinum.
Okay.
If you pour into the shotgun glass,
Uh-huh.
you get to see the particles swirling around.
Oh.
And these are beneficial.
Are they? Well, I mean, we are made
know-
out of metals and
Yes.
zinc and iron and all kinds of shit. So
So that's probably what Roxana wanted
interesting.
Look at that.
to mention about it.
interesting. Now,
Check mark.
talking about popularity and talking about, I want to change a little bit of subject because today I was looking at YouTube because I don't have a life and I don't have a job, so that's what I do. I look at YouTube all day long.
Okay.
And
what
the
was
whole
so
thing
interesting?
with Pete Diddy and
Yeah.
Puff Diddy. And,
Oh, come on.
What?
And Pedo Diddy
We
now.
don't
What's his
even
name?
know.
I don't
There's
even
not
know what
that
his
much
name is anymore.
Sean
information
Combs
out.
or something?
Yes, yes.
Huh?
Sean Combs.
Yes.
Sean Combs. That has to be the best porn name.
Not Combs.
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 Combs
Sean
or Combs?
Combs.
I mean,
Combs.
John Combs would be an amazing
listen.
porn star
Oh,
name.
God.
He come.
He cometh, and he got it.
Yes.
That's an amazing fucking.
No,
Porn name.
but that's the funny thing. Like universe sometimes plays
That is funny.
you know, like trick on us in like by giving
think
the
so?
names to some people.
Like,
you know, like
specifically.
So what's your question?
I guess my question is, what do you think about? Have you been keeping up with it? Have you read
you heard
anything?
about
Have
it?
you watched
yeah,
anything?
yeah. I'm mostly familiar with
Yeah.
it, but I knew from before, way ahead of,
Well, we all-
of
I
the
think
time
we all
that
knew
he,
from before there
he
was
was
some
involved
issues.
in the assassination. I mean,
Allegedly.
allegedly assassination of Tupac and BG and
Allegedly is a big word.
yeah, no, but
Yeah.
but
I mean, you work in law firms, so you should know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, I've heard that for many years
Yeah.
because you know that was the same circles.
Yeah, but what's coming out today is a little bit heavier.
no.
We're
not-
talking about
now-
child.
Yeah,
What is it?
we're tying
Child
it
pornography?
to-
Not child pornography.
No.
Child.
He's like a Epstein, but for the hip hop industry
Yeah, I
in
mean, that's
Hollywood.
pretty heavy.
you know,
We're
talking
super
about
heavy, you know. That's why they're like running
But we
away
don't-
and stuff because
But we don't
things
know,
about to show
right?
up. You know.
It's
No,
still
no,
the
no.
unknown.
Listen, I want allegedly. Allegedly is the word that everybody uses, and I'm
Okay.
going to use it too because I don't want to get sued.
Please.
But allegedly, this is all happening. But the FBI doesn't allegedly just go to your house and raid it. They
Yeah.
must have something
Exactly.
on there. And I get the whole thing about, getting rid of a competition. I get about even the girlfriend thing. I'm really
The
like,
ex-girlfriend?
it's hard to swallow that one because I'll be honest with you, like one of the things that the girlfriend was suing him for was that supposedly he had made her have sex with prostitutes and had her having sex with other women and so on and so forth. So my question is, okay, you did it one time or you did it 2 times. Why didn't you get out of there? Why didn't you stop?
Yeah.
If it's something that's morally and ethically incorrect, why do you
Right.
keep doing it? I mean,
There's
I'm
probably
pretty,
fear.
But-
well, fear, yes, but money helps, the bills.
But
pay the bills.
you're forgetting if we're talking about the situation and if the allegations are true,
Yeah.
it's a system of the scamming and manipulating people and
But
controlling people
I mean,
by
the-
this.
Don't they kind of all these powerful men that are up in high positions, isn't that kind of like the way they get around?
That's what it
I mean,
seems. That it's a system
Bill Gates
of
and do it.
how you call it, the blackmail and
Yeah.
manipulation.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's why you wonder like, oh why you didn't stop or didn't get out.
It's also a lifestyle.
Because if it's a manipulation and blackmail thing, they got you by a hook. You know, sometimes
That's a good point.
You
That's a
know,
good
like
point.
you cannot refuse because they can use it to destroy you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and nowadays more of those things coming out because those people feel more
Empowered.
because
True.
others doing it.
yes.
But before it's
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
by
I've seen
yourself. Like they will destroy you. They will do the.
Crazy driver, right?
They will do the
Miami.
character assassination on you, like, and destroy you. So
Yeah.
now most of those things coming out more often. But what's interesting about that thing, the Cat Williams. Cat Williams did many skits and talk about it way ahead of time. Another guy was the Corey Goods.
Yes.
Corey Goods. He was before Cat Williams. Talk about all that pedophilia.
Yeah,
in
but
it.
I mean,
The
I have
boxer
a
Ryan thing.
yeah. I mean,
Garcia,
and I hate to compare. I'm not.
so there's
and I'm
something
not,
to it for sure.
And I'm not comparing Epstein to P Diddy. I don't think it's a fair comparison at this point. I think that once things come to light, and because there hasn't been any arrest, there hasn't been any kind of anything. All that's really happened up to this point is just a raid on this house.
Yeah.
Which means, if I'm
We don't even know if it is his house, right? Because apparently it
technically
might be a
it's one of
business.
his
So
property that he owns.
Yeah.
It's not even his
both.
actual
The
home.
one in California and one
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Miami.
yeah. Well, they hit them both at the same time.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they don't say it's his home.
it's the unknown.
It's the unknown. So it's all right now he's not in jail. He hasn't been convicted of any. He hasn't been charged of anything. His kids have not been charged of anything. Nobody's been charged of anything. So right now it's just that it seems to me like a discovery. Like if you're in a lawsuit and we're discovering things. So that to me it makes me feel that the FBI has some information.
Of course.
Yeah.
But
Of
they
course.
don't have enough to actually indict him into anything or actually charge him with anything. So I think that that's the major problem. I think that they're trying to get their hands on some kind of maybe video or maybe some information that they couldn't get their hands on.
Or weren't they saying that the reason
But-
why they were raiding is because there was word of mouth or some
No,
sort of
word of mouth. That's not enough to.
Yeah, word of mouth is
get
not enough to get
But
down.
that
to get
supposedly they were
the-
destroying evidence, right?
Supposedly,
there
yes.
was word
That's
of
what
mouth.
they said.
There was
They said that they were destroying evidence.
So there was word
which,
out.
Again, I
that
don't
we
know,
don't
man.
really,
I
we don't really know. But listen, at the end of the day, if you're gonna have an FBI raid your business or your home,
This is the thing.
they
to
must
me,
have something.
if you want to sell me that P. Diddy, is that how you say it? P. Diddy?
P Diddy. P as in Paul, Diddy.
I'm not really up to date on it.
Diddling.
Oh, Puff Daddy.
No, Diddly,
Is it Puff Daddy or Puff Diddy?
He's also known as Puff Daddy.
Yeah, Puff Daddy
I like
on
Puff
the
Daddy
beginning.
better because of the
Puff
puffing.
Daddy, P Diddy.
And he was great in that movie,
Diddy.
Take Me to the Greek. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. It's a horrible movie, but I liked it. I like horrible movies.
But it's funny, remember I mentioned Pound Shop when I used to
Yeah.
work?
Was he in it?
He, during the music conference, he came and
did?
DJ'd with
Oh my God.
one of the DJs
Look at
on
that.
one of the parties.
So again,
Back then,
you know,
yeah, it's funny.
I
Pretty cool.
have this. It's kind of like, you know, it's a with the smoke there's fire kind of thing, but at the same time, it's also like with powerful people. Sometimes people take advantage. You know, so it's a combination of both. You know,
But,
I mean,
but in this case, there's too much other
but trafficking
instances
minors-
of speculations and connections.
I understand, but trafficking minors, you're talking about Epstein territory.
yeah.
Filming people having sex and stuff like that. You're
Yeah.
talking about a completely different level. You know, I can get down with the assassination of somebody. I can get
but
down with
those people are very high in the entertainment
I don't
business.
know.
You know,
I don't know.
Epstein was in the business of financiers.
Yeah, it's a
Politics.
completely
stuff.
different market, but yes.
This is different market.
Yeah.
So I'm sure this could be like a huge operation where they have people like, okay, you'll be doing in the industry, in the entertainment industry things. You'll be doing in the finance.
It's also a lot
sphere.
like the CIA too.
Yes.
I gotta be honest
Now,
with you.
It is.
I am a
In my
little
opinion,
iffy.
it is.
It's a little iffy.
It's the CIA and
you think the same thing
and
I
the
do?
Mossad.
Where
I
they
mean,
do kind of like side things and they kind of give you power and they let you
Yeah,
go, but then at one certain point they let you go, they let you lose.
Yeah.
Like American Flyer. You
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
that movie?
So did you guys
Yeah.
Tom
hear
Cruise?
that? I mean, again, we have no idea because
no.
we only know so much that
Allegedly.
has came out.
Allegedly.
Please say
yes.
allegedly.
So
Disclaimer.
allegedly,
We're just
I only have, like,
fucking up.
$2,500 in the bank, so
Yeah.
allegedly.
that's BS. Allegedly,
It's
We're just
2,500.
speculating.
Speculating.
allegedly, he was known to have multiple cameras all throughout his home.
Yeah, but again, that's I mean, that's the average dude has a camera in his house.
I mean, I guess, but
from the
we have cameras.
No,
From
but
the
I'm talking
people
about
that-
hidden
accusations
cameras.
and stuff. That's
I think that's what's worse. Like
what's
hidden
going on.
cameras.
They were filming and using it to.
I mean, it's been going on
to
for years.
bribe people,
Voyagers are are.
This
I mean,
is the
there's
one that has like the teddy
people
bears
going
hidden.
into the freaking bathroom and taking pictures of women when they're peeing. I mean, come on. Dudes are sick. I mean, I hate to say it. I love my brothers and
But that's-
sisters, but
Isn't it
that's what they do.
fucked up in a way
Is it?
that people like them, when they're like successful and wealthy, they can have anyone and anything if
That
they-
is
if
sick.
But that's the
they're
whole
nice,
point.
right?
It is
The
sick,
point
of course.
is that when you get to
there's
that
gotta
power
be
level,
other
Yes,
reason
but-
for them to do it.
no,
you know?
it's all about a power trip. It's all about getting the person that doesn't want to do it to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
They
saying.
don't give a shit about
That's
the person that
another
wants to
reason.
do it.
That's
The prostitute, the guy that wants to do it, the guy that's willing to do it. They don't give a shit about that guy. They want the woman or the guy that doesn't want to do it, and they want to do it to that guy. You know, they want that guy. There was a movie. What was that movie? I don't remember the movie. I'll look it up. And there was a movie where there was a Korean guy. I think it was with Seth. What's his name? Ah, shit. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, I'll look it up. I'll put it up. So basically, it was this Korean guy that would get blowjobs from all kinds of people. You know, famous actors, Oh, Min Joo Young. What's his name? Min Joo Young.
Suck my dick.
Yeah.
Ming Ju
So
Young.
basically, he had like Polaroid pictures of like Arnold Schwarzenegger giving him a blowjob, and he had like Tyler Swift giving him a blowjob. So he had so much money that. Why are you holding your head?
This makes sense. Like
This is a movie. This is not real. Allegedly,
Thank
he's
goodness.
not really doing this.
okay.
I know.
So this guy is like. He's so powerful.
Remember, we have
I'm sorry.
a minor
I apologize. Minor.
within the
So what do you
vicinity.
mind? Gold, silver?
No, I should have bought it because I was like,
You should. So anyway, so in the movie, I can't remember the name of the movie. So, and he takes Polaroids of them, and he pays them, $1 million, $10 million to come over and give him a blowjob. And then he takes a picture of it, and he has a whole wall full of famous people that give him a blowjob.
For $1 million.
For $1 million, or even more. Who knows?
What?
You know, but the whole point of it is that he's so powerful, he's got so much money, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
That's what he wants. He wants to get a blowjob from Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know?
Right.
Because that's what that. It's not about turning him on. It's about the power. You know, being able to do whatever the fuck I want.
Sick mind.
You know, absolute power corrupts, and absolute. You know, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
That exactly. That's what I heard also.
Yeah.
Another way of seeing that the most wealthy, they're so wealthy and powerful and influential that not only they do what they want, but the most
allegedly people allegedly. We don't know. The powerful people don't come after us.
Satisfaction they draw from the fact that they're untouchable.
Yeah.
That's why they do crazy thing like a murder or something, and then show that they can just get away with it.
Here's a great movie. Here's a great movie. I don't know if you've seen it. Nicolas Cage, 8mm. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
That is on the 8mm.
That is a hardcore Epstein motherfucking shit.
Yeah.
Because that is all about a snuff film.
Yeah.
A rich millionaire paid a guy to make him a real smut film. What's it called? Smut? Snuff.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, let's face it.
And on a specific camera.
Yes, a specific camera and a specific person. So, that's one thing that I know exists because I've not seen it myself, but I've experienced it. When I was in college, I had these 4 or 5 fairly attractive women that were my friends. They were just my friends. I tried.
And they had 8mm camera.
Yeah, I wish they had it. I wish they had 8mm. I wish I had a camera. But no, they had nothing to do with me. It was just, it's just funny and fun. And so they hang around with me. And they were a little bit younger. And I remember one time, one of them told me, this Arabic guy, I don't know what country, against allegedly, I don't want these guys coming after me. And they invited them to come over, and they were going to pay them $10,000. I'm talking in the 80s.
Yeah.
$10,000 to get on a plane. They were going to pay the first class ticket to go to. I'm not going to say the country because I don't want them coming after me.
EU.
Man.
Okay.
Qatar EU.
So they were going to go over there for $10,000. They were going to get $10,000 to go there a weekend. A weekend each.
A weekend.
Yeah.
A weekend just to hang out.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to meet them. How they reached them, how they got in touch with them. It was a MySpace. I don't remember. I don't know if you guys. I'm old.
At that time, could have been MySpace or something.
MySpace was the big thing.
I remember that
before
platform.
Facebook. I know MySpace is.
I had it.
Do you have the MySpace?
I had it back then.
Did you have MySpace?
I had MySpace.
You're not that old. How old are you?
42.
Holy shit.
I had a
I look
MySpace.
like shit next to you. Fuck. This sucks.
Oh, they asked
I gotta
you.
work out, baby. I gotta
They
work out.
asked you how old
Look
you
at this motherfucker. Okay, anyway. So, MySpace. So they got in touch with him. And they said, listen, we want you to come to Dubai. No, not Dubai. I'm lying. Another country.
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. No, that's even
That's
worse.
the same country.
That's even worse.
That's the same country.
It's the same country, but not the same
One
thing.
of these buttons
They
should
have,
apply.
Doha, Qatar.
So they consulted on me. They said, listen.
They asked you about it?
They asked me about it. They said, what do you think? Do you think we should go? And I said, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to go, you can go. And you might get your $10,000. And you might have a great time and come back and everything's fine. Now, is there a possibility you might not come back?
Probably.
Probably. I would say pretty high. And you might end up in some harem up in the fucking tower. Never going to be able to go out there. And some, not very enjoyable young men or old men might come in and, want to have some fun with you every now and then. And you'll never be able to leave.
And crazy requests.
Because if you think about it, if you look at the documentary they did about Qatar when they did the World Cup, and you can look this up. This is not me making this up. They brought in a lot of labor force, and they completely lied to them.
We're talking about it. A few years ago in Poland, they made a movie/documentary it was like famous in controversy. It was all about that, how the
Were
beautiful women from Poland
Oh,
Were
and-
used?
Oh,
and
yeah.
not used it out of their own volition.
yeah, of
Who
course.
just traveled
Of
there
course.
to make money and do crazy things for the sheikhs and all the
Yeah.
wealthy people,
Jeez.
and even famous
Absolutely,
women.
absolutely.
You know, from my country, they made a whole movie about
Oh,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Girls from
I've been
Dubai.
to Dubai. I've been
Girls
to Dubai.
From
I've been to Dubai.
from Dubai, and it's like the whole thing about it. You know,
Yeah.
like
Wow.
it's like a whole industry.
It's a double-edged sword.
you know,
Dubai is a
thing,
double-edged
yeah.
sword because you go there and you see the the moral and the ethics and the Muslim religion, which I have nothing against it. To each his own.
Yeah.
But then they're like, no drinking, no smoking, no children, no nothing, no nothing. And then you get there and you go to a nightclub and it's a completely different environment.
Yeah.
So then you're thinking, well, what happened with all this no drinking, no this, no that, no that? Like, what happened? It's completely gone all of a sudden.
No, but
And
but
it's allowed.
No, but not for everyone. It's
Not for
only,
well, anybody
no.
that's in the nightclub.
No,
Not for
yeah.
everybody, but if you're in a nightclub,
Yeah.
it's like a free space.
Yes,
You can do
yeah.
whatever you want.
Behind closed doors.
I've experienced
It's not
that,
closed
that
doors, it's
I've
pretty
been
open.
there for almost 2 weeks,
Yeah.
like 7 years ago or something in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
But Abu Dhabi is
And-
different than Dubai.
Yes,
Completely different.
but what I'm saying, like, no alcohol anywhere. I could only drink
Mm-hmm.
on the top of the roof in the hotel that I was there.
Sparkling water.
Not
A lot of
I
water.
felt like a criminal
Yeah, you do
non-stop.
something wrong. Well,
like,
I mean, you are a criminal in their view.
In their view, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt so uncomfortable in,
Yeah.
in the whole thing. But then I've heard they have those underground things just like because the normal society doesn't allow any of it. But then you have underground
Yeah.
groups where you can do
I mean,
whatever
without
you
going
want.
too much
and
into it,
more
because they have a
wealthy
lot of
you are
money.
and
Power.
connected with the royal family thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. But
Yeah.
normal people forget about
it.
the.
Yeah.
Like and they have those castes
Yeah.
of the
I
people
agree.
that are connected. It's like a
Untouchable.
two-tier system up there completely.
Completely different. That's why I always tell people travel, and when you're done traveling, travel a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Visit different countries, different cultures. No, leave them. It's fine. We won't say bad words in front of them. Then they'll veto us. But definitely, when you travel, your mind expands without you even realizing it. You can compare cultures. You can compare different ways of living.
Yeah.
We recently went to visit after 35 years. I went to Argentina. I hadn't been back in 35 years.
You haven't been back in 35
35
years?
years.
A little bit
It's insane.
pathetic.
Well, I don't know about pathetic.
Yes.
What were you? You don't have any family there? You have family there?
I
Plenty.
have all my family
Like
there.
half
And
of
you haven't been
Argentina.
35 years?
35 years.
Look.
Okay. Thank you. It made me feel really good. Thank you very much. But yeah, so I haven't been back not because I didn't want to, just because the way my life was set up
Yeah.
was, first I lived with my parents. My parents were had no interest in going back. If we went back to Punta del Este, which is in Uruguay, which is a vacation place. But we never really connected with the family. I'm talking about my cousins, my uncles. And about, 2 years? And my mom passed away. Loved her to death. Big shout
My
out to
mom
my
passed
mom.
away in
Recently?
2021 too.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Oh, sorry.
I was very close with my mother. My mom was an amazing.
On the beginning of COVID, I couldn't go to.
Well, that's the same thing we had. We couldn't go
for
visit
the
her either.
funeral because of
Yeah, of the COVID.
No, but your mother
restrictions and
died last
stuff.
year.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, well, she was put in
It'll
a
be
home.
a year.
It's a long story. She was put in a home, not my choice, and I couldn't go visit her for the period of time of the COVID. And then after COVID finished, I was able to go in and visit her.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really rough time for me personally, because I love my mother and I wanted the best for her. I wanted her last days to be as comfortable and as with as loved people that loved her around her, and that didn't happen. But that's it. I could do a whole podcast on that. So the thing is that, my mother was not really. My mother lived in the United States for a very long period of time with my father, and so for whatever reason, she never really kept in touch with her family, and never really, we were like gypsies. We traveled all over the world. We lived in different countries, in Italy, in the United States, and Brazil, and Mexico. So we were kind of like following my dad's success through life, and we didn't really touch bases with the family. My mother passes away, and in a way to get to know her and get to know more about her and her history, I reconnect with the family. And I go back after almost 35 years of not connecting with anybody, my cousins, and you got to remember, like when I was growing up, there was no WhatsApp, there was no internet, there was no. I mean, if you wanted to get in touch with somebody, you got to write a letter.
Yeah.
And a letter,
or calling cards.
Oh yeah, I mean, calling cards cost a fortune, and to call somebody and talk to them for 20, 30 minutes, it cost you like $500. It was ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, we had to correspond in letters.
Completely different kind of correspondence.
Yeah.
But
I'm not a writer. I don't know about you.
But in a way, it was a better way of communication, because you would condense to the most important aspects of what you want to say, and you would just leave the petty bullshit behind, because
but at the same time, I remember I would receive letters from friends that were maybe 6-7 pages long.
Yeah.
That it would take them maybe 4 or 5 months. They would have been writing these fucking letters, and they want you to read them and understand what the hell. Like I would read like maybe 5 pages, and I'd be like, why am I like, this is ridiculous. Like, I mean, I know everything, like when they went to lunch and when they went to the bathroom and when they didn't feel sick.
They did it like that.
It's too much detail.
Like,
so obviously I'm not from the letter generation. I'm more from, I think I was born in the wrong era. I should have definitely been born today.
I'm definitely right in between.
Now
I never wrote letters.
No.
And I was in the beginning when we started using computers, and there were like emails and
no. I'm definitely
and stuff and chats. And
if I would have been born today, it would have been a completely different story. I would have a trillion friends on Facebook, and I would have, just because of the life that I lived. I lived in so many different countries. We used to move around every 3 or 4 years. So, I mean, I couldn't even fathom the amount of people I would know today had that been around. But anyway.
Imagine writing letters to all of them.
No, forget it.
You'd be sitting all day long.
No.
Every day.
You would just...
You become a writer.
You would probably like photocopy them and send them, photocopy of the same letter to everybody. It's ridiculous.
That's just
but that's
wrong.
But it would have been,
But that's a crazy thing that like the technology that allows us to have that
technology
instant
today.
amazing communication.
I talk to my cousins in Argentina on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And we look at each other and we have a conversation. Now, that seems like almost futuristic, but it's actually a real thing that you can do.
Yeah.
And obviously now reconnecting after 35 years, going over there, spending time with them, reconnecting, feeling the love that they still have for you. Because you got to remember, a lot of people, if you don't talk to them for 10, 20, 30 years, they don't want to talk to you. That's the majority of people. I think there's a minority of people that have no problem with it. That they're like, listen, if we didn't talk for 30 years, we didn't talk for 30 years. But today you're here, and I'm embracing you.
I think like
I love you.
The true best friends, it's like that.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Yes.
Like you just start
It
where
doesn't
you
matter.
left it.
Exactly.
You just like tell me what's new, but we starting where we left it. We're still the best friends. Like I love you as I loved you the last time we spoke. Just tell me what's new.
Correct, because
Exactly.
life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way. You have problems.
That's most of my relationship with everybody in
awesome.
Poland.
Which is awesome.
Like I have my family and my best friend. Every time I go, we start like that. It's
That's
like,
amazing.
You
Like
never
we
left.
just love each
That's
other.
amazing.
Everybody can't wait to see each other. Like that's the thing. It's like every time I go to Poland, it's just fucking drinking every day for
And
a week, because every
let me
day
ask
you're
you
visiting
something.
another friend and like new bottle shots and drinking and party.
Now let me ask you something. do you think that you maintain a constant relationship, do you think that maybe the relationship wouldn't be as good as it is today? Or do you think it would have been different? Because I think it would have been different.
Different because of what?
Because if you maintain a relationship, let's say you maintain a relationship for 30 years. With the same people, living in the same place, would the relationship be different? Or do you think that it would have changed?
I have instances where I have the best friends that somewhat, every so often you would just wish yourself happy birthday, whatever. You don't talk
every day.
Thing just once a year, whatever. And most of my best friends are like that. The closest family is like every few months I spoke with them, but it's also it remains the same. We love each other. It's like you know, like when you talk, it's fantastic. But then also you don't want to talk too much because you have not much to talk about.
Not really.
I guess it's my only family.
Well, you do
my
have,
family's
you
pretty
do
good
have a lot
with
to talk
communication.
about. It's just that when you synthesize it down to important things,
but then,
it doesn't seem that important.
But then also I have friends in Poland that I don't maintain like a typical conversation during the year. But when I go there and randomly we meet each other, it's also still like alive, like fucking awesome, awesome. Like everybody understands, like we're not gonna have to be like.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me the last 20 years or 10 years I haven't seen you.
But you can update all of it at that time, and it's fantastic.
Just make one summer.
And honestly, it's funny sometimes to me because, again,
but these are true friends.
Funny?
Like
no.
What's funny?
No. I listen. The two friends and yada yada, and the love. Like I love my cousins. I love all of my cousins.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, and some that I've only seen maybe once or twice.
Okay.
In my life, some I've seen maybe one time when I was 5 or 4 years old, and I felt so much love. I felt so much, welcoming.
Yeah.
It was overwhelming. It was such a beautiful thing that I did not expect. And I told her, I go, listen, I don't know if these people are going to spit in my face or they're going to hug me. I don't know. Because I literally don't know them. It's been 35 fucking years since I've actually talked to them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind of reaction they're going to have when they see my face. I'm just going to show up. Yeah. And if they're happy to see me, great. And if they're not happy to see me, that's great too. I don't blame them because it's been 35 years. I get it. I get it. I have not been in touch with them.
But then they have no reason to be.
Well, they don't have no reason, but I've had situations where I've had friends that were good friends that I didn't talk to them for 5 years, and I called them up, and they like, oh, it's been 5 years, and you never called me, and what's going on? Like,
and had a.
You're like,
that's not a true friend,
dude. Like you're a guy. Like, did we have sex? Like, what the hell's going on? Like,
that's not a true friend.
Like, I don't understand. Like, why are you upset? Bobby, you didn't call me. You didn't maintain a relationship. Oh my God.
That's more like a inner problem. It's
an inner problem.
It's with themselves.
Correct.
There's something wrong with themselves, and that
has nothing to do with you.
Now, I will say that when you have true friends, and I have a few, there is a certain, not necessity, but there's definitely a longing to be around them. Mm-hmm. There is definitely that.
Yeah.
Like I long to be, like now that I went back to Argentina and I, reconnected with my cousins, I have a longing. I have like, it's really, I can't even explain it to you. It's not a love. It's not love.
Absolutely, I understand.
It's a type of love. It's like, oh my God, like I want to go back.
With my family,
yeah, I want to go back.
You crave it.
I crave it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And their happiness is contagious.
But then also, like, you get saturated with it. Like,
I don't know. I haven't gotten saturated yet. I haven't gotten saturated yet. But it could eventually.
So try next time after that longing. Try to stay longer than normal.
I mean, we stayed basically like a month.
We stayed like a month.
No.
They were about to kick us out.
When I went, it was also way over 3 weeks with him. And like, I love it. But after like
a period of time, you want to leave.
You're like, okay, that's enough. time to go back home. You know, like kind of like you love
We
them.
thought the
It's
opposite.
not anything negative. It's just like
No.
Okay, that's enough. You know?
We
It's not
thought
a
the
negative.
opposite.
No,
Yeah.
I understand. I
Yeah.
mean, but I think that's more about comfort or maybe being at your house. Like I'm a, being a Cancer. I don't know if you have the same issue, but I'm a homebody. I like being home.
Yeah.
I enjoy my home, and I like people coming to my home.
Yeah.
I like going to other people's home, but I feel more comfortable in my home. And I like to do parties in my house. I like to do barbecues in my house. I want people to come visit in my house because that's my comfort zone. I can go to your house, I can go to your party, I can go to your event, but ultimately at the end of the day, I like my house. So I think that might be a reason why you want to come back.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when I was over there, man, besides the food, and it's just, and again, I went there in search of my mother. And my mother that I didn't know. And I wanted to get the point of view of the people that knew her in a different point of view. Because, we have perceptions and understandings of people, of our point of view. But then people have their point of view of themselves, and then there's the reality of the person. So you don't really know a person until you know all the different points of view, right? Because, I know very well that when I was growing up, I know people that have points of view about me the way, and I've talked to them and they've communicated to me what they thought of my personality. And as I was getting this information, I thought to myself, that's not me at all. Like, wow, really? That's the way you thought of me? Like, I don't feel that that's me at all.
Yeah, because they also basing on single events.
Could be.
That's the only thing they have to base it on, right?
Yeah.
So they had an event with you, and maybe at the time you were a jackass, or maybe you were a good guy, or maybe you weren't such a good guy, or maybe you did something wrong, or
and
maybe
not understanding
all your history, all your background,
what you were
your
going
motive.
through at the moment.
Correct.
Your situation,
Correct.
because you could be the nicest person, and
That day you had a bad day.
and that day,
Whatever.
something happened that pissed you off, and somebody started talking to you in the wrong moment, and you snap at them, and then they have a vision of you as an asshole.
Yeah.
Because you're as the nicest person. Snap at them.
I agree.
At that very moment,
I do believe that people are not. It's not black and white. I don't think there is I don't think there is such a thing as
the whole
black
thing.
and white.
It's
all shades
all
of gray.
between
It's all
black
shade of
and
gray.
white. It's all.
I don't
in
think
between.
anybody wakes up in the morning and says, "I'm going to go to work and I'm going to be a fucking asshole."
No, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Nobody
anyone
says
thinks that. I don't think anyone
Nobody
thinks
says that.
Yeah,
I don't think
so.
anybody says, "Listen, today I'm going to go out and see how many people I can ruin."
I mean, some people are. Some people
But they are
draw satisfaction from
they
being.
do, but I don't think they consciously do it. I don't think so. I had, and I wasn't going to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up, and we're going to talk about this. Now, you have been in the private sector. You've been working a long time by yourself, so you haven't been. Well, I mean, you worked at the bar, and you've had. I know, Roxana, you've had a bunch of jobs, and I've had a bunch of jobs where I worked in a corporation or a company where there's a lot of employees. And there's always, without, and I'm sure you've had there's always one person, sometimes two, that they're negative and they're toxic. And you're just trying to figure out, why is this person still here?
Yeah.
Why are they in the freaking company? Okay. Why hasn't the boss fired them?
Right.
Nobody likes them. Nobody wants to work with them. They do an okay job. They don't do an amazing job. They do, enough to not get fired. But somehow, they don't get fired.
Well, there's, different perspectives of
There's
that.
not different perspectives.
There is,
When you're
nowadays you have
when you're
to
a
have
toxic individual,
You have to have different ethnicities.
I bet you $100.
Otherwise you get
that
sued.
You had a toxic guy or
But-
girl in your environment.
Go sit down.
Tell me.
What came
Tell
to me when you were asking that question? the idea of productivity from the point of view of psychology, when everybody gets along,
Yeah.
like the environments get so comfortable that people start fucking around because they know everybody holds each other's back. But the
Interesting.
moment that you know that there's somebody that can like
Bust your chops.
bust your chops and told on you, everybody's watching each other's back, their own, like make sure that nobody's gonna like, so you're working your best.
I don't know about that.
In a way, but it could.
I agree with that. I agree
you know
with
what
that.
I'm trying to
No,
Yeah.
I
say,
agree
right?
with that. I agree with that.
I think it's a combination of that and
Yeah.
avoid. You're trying to avoid lawsuits.
You know the word snitch?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
So every
So
company,
exactly. So when the
gets-
moment when you know there could be a snitch, you're gonna watch yourself. You're gonna
Yes.
try to behave the best that you can. At
Correct.
the moment when everybody gets along, you just fucking party. You forget kind of about the job. You focus on the party and the friendship with each other. You know what I mean?
yes and no. Yes and no.
That's
And
like the Wall Street.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a ridiculous amount of work. I worked, with Budweiser, I worked with Carlsberg, I worked with big companies.
Bad
with-
light too.
No Bud Light.
No,
Bud Light.
he didn't work for
That was
Bud
the
Light.
enemy. That was the enemy.
I know.
But and I worked in companies, at Lil Burnett, which is an advertising agency, and actually in Lil Burnett, I have to say, and that was in Paraguay. I have to say that was the only company that I worked with that we had no negative individual in the company. And looking back, retrospect, looking back on it, everybody that worked there was in a kind of a harmonious.
Yeah.
Everybody was harmonious. There were, the difficult individuals.
You
the
remember when I
creatives.
said at the beginning,
Yeah.
the pawn shop lounge I work?
Yes.
That was like the place too. Like everybody was just awesome.
Awesome.
We were like a big, great family.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was successful because
Yeah.
we were a big, great family. We had the same objective
Yeah.
of making the place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
but then
best
you work. Then
thing.
you work in those companies that you have those employees
Yeah.
that have been there 30 years, 40
Yeah, yeah.
years. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about you. They don't
They're
give a fuck
complacent.
about.
Yeah, they just
They're not
care
even
about
complacent. They're just.
They don't like
nasty.
change.
They don't like any new ideas. Anything you bring up, it's a bad idea. They're controlling how long you take in the bathroom, how long you take in the fucking lunch break. Your boss is calling you. Oh, you took 20 minutes longer in your lunch break. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah, so
I've been here
so
8
all
years.
those things
What do you
are-
think? 20 minutes is gonna make a difference?
or different aspects of it. Depends on if you're like surrounded by the good people that are meant good, you're
That
gonna
mean
do
well.
good. But if you're surrounded
I'm a
by
true believer-
some good and some assholes, you're gonna have
But listen,
some problems.
I'm a true believer that if you work in a company and there's a rotten apple, it's going to affect everything around it.
You gotta get rid of it.
If you have a barrel full of good apples, you're going to have a good result. If you have a barrel of one rotten apple, it's going to give you a bad result.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna spread out. Yeah.
And, without going into details, I know some certain companies that are not going very well because they still have rotten apples in the company. And the reality is that, I'm a true believer that you wake up in the morning and whatever you're doing, you should be happy and energetic and looking forward to going to work. Not to go to work to make the best out of, whatever, but just you have that energy like, oh my God, I can't wait to get to work. Let's see what happens today. Let me do the best that I can. And that was, I would say, 80%, 90% of my life was like that, where I was excited to get up.
Yeah.
I would get up at 5, 6 in the morning. I didn't care what time it was. Get in my car, drive to work, get to work. And I was excited. Like, how are we going to get this company to go be number one? How are we going to get this company to break the record? How are we going to get this company to do better? But then you have those people inside of it. It's like they're completely the opposite of that. They're like, how are we going to keep these people down? How are we going to keep this company from not progressing? How are we going to keep this company from, let me snitch on these people, see how many people I can get fired. how is that a good thing? I mean, I get it. I understand. You want to control. You want to have microcontrolling. You want to be able to get things done.
You see that.
But that's a negative way of doing it.
But you see that,
not a positive.
The difference that you said. There is the same objective for you that
It
that
is the same objective.
No, they have the same objective.
They do.
But the person that sees it positive in a way that what can I do to make the company better in order to achieve better results, and I get rewarded for the better results. The negative people, they know they cannot provide the creativity and solution of the better performance.
Correct.
So they look in the ways how to achieve the same by
bringing down everybody else around.
Yeah, exactly. Bringing down everybody else around them.
That's a good point.
Creating
That's a great point.
Disturbance in order for them to elevate.
That's a great point. They elevate themselves.
Themselves from the misery that they're in.
That's a good point.
You know,
I agree.
You know, so you have these two types.
And they are miserable, and then their life is miserable.
Yeah, and what's crazy, this type of people, that thinking, it's usually the communist way of thinking, the socialist people.
Yeah,
that's true. You hit on.
I hit on the nail.
You hit on the nail.
That is
Absolutely.
true.
You know, all the fucking people
that happened in Cuba. That happened in Cuba a lot, where you would have a neighborhood, and you would have one person that would tell on everybody else in the neighborhood if they were the snitch, that if they were against the communist
party. And these
party.
are all the losers. These are always all the losers.
Yeah.
But in that environment, they're the winners.
Yeah.
In that environment, they actually thrive.
Yeah, and then spread on the others. They're incentivized the victimhood thing. That's what's happening in this country right now. It's like a victimhood fucking Olympics.
It is kind of happening.
Basically.
You're right.
You know, like who got it worse? You know, like
who's got it worse? You have it worse, or you have it worse?
Yeah. So you have the first right to fucking claim.
XYZ.
You know, money to get back because you've been wrong. But
listen, I don't know anybody. I don't know about you, but I've met a few people that their life has been charmed, meaning that they had money, they had love, they had family, everything went perfect. You know, because I grew up in that kind of environment. Not perfect, but pretty close. So I met other people that had what I would consider charmed lives, meaning that their family loved them, their dad, their mom, everything was okay. They made good money, meaning they were millionaires, they traveled, they had the ability to select what they wanted to study, they never had any kind of money issues. You know, when they got to a certain age, their dad gave them the company made a lot of money, they were always economically solvent, you know, and in a way, I don't know, I feel like those people never really lived.
Yeah.
Because they never struggled. There was no struggle. Everything was handed out to them. I give them all the props in the world for being intelligent and not having to struggle and actually understanding what they're getting and being able to increase that or maintain that.
Yeah, those that can maintain, you props for that, but
I give them all
there's a lot of those that just lose it. You know,
no. There's a lot.
There's a high percentage.
I would tell you there's a higher percentage that
lose it all.
All that shit goes away.
Yeah.
Real quick because they never learned the value of money.
Yeah.
That's just a parenting problem. That has nothing to do with themselves. It has to do with
something
the parents.
I'm trying to teach him.
Teach him how to do it. Maintain that wealth generation.
No, just the
absolutely.
fact that you need to work for your thing.
All you got to do is read the book Poor Dad, Rich Dad.
Yeah.
Poor Dad, Rich Dad talks about that. This guy had
Kiyosaki.
He had two parents. He had a rich dad and a poor dad, and he talks about how
poor dad was real dad, but then mom married a guy that was wealthy.
Correct, and he taught him how to make money.
Yeah,
and that's the reality of today's world. Today's world is that you can go to college, you can get a doctor, you can become a doctor, you can become a lawyer, you can become whatever, and that makes you a lot of money, and you can have success in life. You know, yeah, sure, why not? That makes sense. But if you don't have your dad or your mom or your family teaching you how to manage money, how to manage wealth, how to increase it, how to take whatever you get and then build on it,
Yeah.
it's never going to happen. And you see it in people that win the lottery. People win the lottery.
Yeah, from statistically speaking, most of the people that win, they lose it.
They lose it in
few
less than
next
5 years.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
The lawyers take it. The accountants take it.
Get taking
They buy
advantage of.
They
and,
make. They win $10 million and they go out and buy a $10 million house.
and all the family
That they can't pay the
comes and-
taxes.
Snatches everything.
And they can't maintain it,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh,
Everyone's
Yeah.
in need at that point.
everybody's in need. So money. I always said it. There's two things in life that should be taught in school. One is money management, because they teach you how to make money, how to go to a company and work and make money. But how do you, when you get a salary, what percentage of that salary should be invested into your rental or your home? How much of that money should you be
budgeting
saving?
thing.
Budgeting your own money.
Yeah.
Nobody teaches that, and they have no interest in teaching you that.
No,
Why?
of
Because
course, yeah, because it's for
why
their
would we
favorite,
want a bunch of millionaires? We
Yeah.
want everybody to be in debt.
Yeah.
Just get another loan. $10 million loan, $20 million loan, and you'll be good to go.
You know, it's not so much of everybody being in debt, because debt is actually good if you know how to manage it. They don't
but
want
again,
a competition.
you need to learn how to do it.
They don't want a
because
competition.
you don't get taxed in debt.
They don't
I
want
learned
any
that from.
competition. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, again, you have first you have to acquire assets,
Yeah.
meaning a home, a business, a money.
Land, companies.
What's the name from Amazon? The guy, I always forget his name.
Bezos.
Like he has, he has a shitload of money. But do you think he takes out, he sells stocks and bonds?
He has shit out of value, not.
He just
not
goes
in
to a
a-
bank and says, listen, I have
Cash,
$20 billion invested here. So I put
get
this.
a loan.
I get a
for
loan
this.
based on this.
Yeah.
Then he gets a loan of $20 million, and then he goes off and does a business that generates him another $100 million.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, he's not paying any taxes on the freaking loan because it's a loan.
Yeah.
So he doesn't use his money. He only uses his money as collateral to make more money, to use that
Exactly.
money to make more money.
And
so he gets
profits
money
used
work.
to pay the principal.
Correct.
And everything extra, it's for you to spend.
Correct.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
you are a guy that, let's say your parents weren't well off, and you had to get a loan to do, let's say, a doctor. And then you have a debt of $150,000 to $200,000 because you went to college, you went to the best colleges, you went to UM, or you went to Cornell, or you went to whatever. And then now you're in debt, or you started already the race 10 steps behind because you're in debt, $200,000. Now, that's not that bad, because in reality, you're paying that debt in 50, 60 years, and you're paying maybe, 400.
60 years.
Yeah,
I
well,
know,
I mean,
no.
Imagine.
No, I know. Yeah.
How much are the debts? How many years? You went to college and you paid.
I mean, it depends how quick you could pay a loan.
No, but I mean, like, not pay it off.
I get arrested
Like, how
again.
long do you have to pay it off? You can.
I mean,
you could die and not pay it off.
Probably, yeah, probably.
So you can actually die and pay it off.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go pee again? Oh my god. You gotta get your bladder checked.
Good, I had it since I was a kid, like this.
It's all that vodka you're drinking. So, if you think about it, and this pertains to you because you're young, whatever your dad leaves you, you got to build on it. If you don't build on it, then it's all for nothing.
Yep.
I know it right now. How old are you?
10 and a half.
10 and a half. Imagine, 10 and a half. You're at the age of understanding. And your dad, could become, fairly well off with the vodka and the art and make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But eventually you have to build on top of that. Mm-hmm. And that's the reality of it. Fortunes are not made overnight.
Correct.
They're made over generations.
That is correct.
If you don't teach your kids how to build generational wealth, you will never be able to actually get to that point.
That
And
is
I
true.
think that's the biggest problem that we have. We tend to think of ourselves as individuals, that we build our wealth, and then we allow our kids to go off and build their wealth.
Mm-hmm.
That's incorrect.
Because it
If
should
you
be the same.
really want to build wealth, you need to build wealth and train your kids to be able to grow in that wealth.
The same wealth, correct.
The same
Not
wealth.
build another one or modify.
Because you're now starting from scratch, and sometimes even negative, because again, you got the loans from the college, and so on and so forth.
Correct.
So generational wealth is such an important it's such an important thing to teach your children that I don't think people really realize how important it is. Because let's say you are...
It works on a compound
It's compound.
effect.
It's compound.
Yeah,
It's compound. You know, when you have what's called a passive income, let's say tomorrow your vodka company takes off and you have passive income coming into you, I don't know, let's say a number, let's say $10,000 a month. And then you have your art. Your art becomes what it should become, in my opinion, something special. You're going to leave that, you're going to eventually pass away, you're going to leave that to your son. Now, what will your son do with that? Now, he's already getting $10,000 a month. Then there's the art. And I've met people that their parents were great artists and they live off their parents' revenue still today.
Yeah.
But they have no motivation. They have no... They're like, I'm making $5,000-$6,000 a month. I don't really need to do much of anything because I'm getting this money for free.
So they become
because
complacent.
most of the time, because they see it as something that they don't enjoy it to do.
They don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
You know, but that's
the parents' fault.
That's the parents' fault, but
agree.
also it's their own fault in the thinking because they can see it that way. Okay, I have this stream of income, and I don't like to participate in it. I like to do my thing.
Yeah.
So I can fucking use the stream of income as a backing for the loan in order to start a business that I'm happy with.
Yes.
You know, and you like doing what you're happy with, and you keep generating the thing. But most of the people don't.
But
think
listen,
like that.
it really depends. Some people get lazy. They have so much income coming in, and they're like, "Why? Why?" They have no
laziness is a
they're
problem.
not driven to do anything, which is sad.
It's not laziness.
You don't think it's laziness?
No.
I mean, when you're getting free money, isn't that kind of like the definition of laziness?
It is
lack of value.
Laziness.
I don't know about
but
value.
the laziness comes from the lack of pursuit, lack of
But I think,
meaning
again,
in life.
But I think
when
that
you
comes
like
to
lose.
parents. I think the parents' responsibility, and
Yes and no. Most of the time, probably.
I personally, I would say I dropped the ball on that one. And I'm talking from my own experience. You know, I never really talked about this with my son. We never talked about wealth building. I never talked about growing on something. I didn't have much to grow on to begin with, but it doesn't really matter if you have something to grow on or not. It has to do with teaching your kids about money. And we go back to Poor Dad and Rich Dad. And I think that if you don't teach your children how a credit card works, how a bank works, how
to
invest. I mean, there are things right now, for example, Fortune 500 stock, IRA, Roths, that you can put money in $100, starting at the age of 18,
we just compound to
compounds.
Millions of dollars.
And by the time you get to 40, 50, you got $500,000,
no more,
$1 million,
I mean, it
$10
depends
million.
on what time
It depends what you do.
Start,
Correct. But if you don't do it at that, if you don't start, like if I could go back in time, which I think about a lot, but if I could go back in time and do things differently, you better believe I would do things differently.
Oh, of course. Me too, myself. I've
thrown millions and millions of dollars down the basket. Yeah. I mean, I've just, because my parents never taught me the value of money, never taught me the value of passive income, because they themselves didn't understand it.
Yeah, I know, I wasn't taught to my parents either. I mean, they didn't do bad, but they didn't do great either,
But it's not their fault. It's not their fault because they themselves need to be taught.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like they were always playing the safest of the safest way, which is not always the best.
Not
either.
always the best.
It's not always
Correct.
You got to go for your dreams. You got to go for the big.
But anyway, they did it the best of the best, and they provided the safest way.
Yeah.
I was never like
struggling.
Struggling, like we didn't have the best
The
thing,
necessities.
like, no, we had the necessities.
That's what I mean.
But
The basics.
But I never had to like beg for struggle. But if I wanted more, I couldn't get it either.
You couldn't get it either. Yeah.
I had to earn it on my own. And I started working when I was a teenager on the vacations. Everything after my 18-year birthday, everything I earned myself.
You generated yourself.
Yeah, everything that
which
I
is
came
a good,
to
which
this
is a good
country,
lesson.
everything on my own.
Yeah, which is a good lesson.
It's great.
But that's another crazy thing that happened, thanks to which I am here in this country.
Absolutely.
I went through like a difficult situation when I was like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah. I
was at a college at that time, and I went through some crazy situation, and I had a bank loan for the student bank loan.
Yeah.
I went to the bank, and random person asked me like, "Oh, we have a lottery. You want to fill it up?
Sure.
There are vacation computers to win."
Yeah, let's
like,
do it.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
I filled it up. 6 months later,
You won the lottery. You won the lottery?
I won the.
Oh my God.
I won
Wow.
the #1 prize,
Oh wow.
which was a brand new car.
Oh hello.
No way.
Yeah, brand new car. That they didn't even mention when I was filling up. They just said like, "Oh,
Computer.
bicycle, computer,
Yeah. Brand new car.
vacation to somewhere."
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't even mention the thing. And it was funny at that time. It was end of the year, and I was like struggling with passing the grades on some of the subjects, and I couldn't close it. And like bank already calling me to send them confirmation.
That's crazy,
that I
yeah?
passed the year. Because otherwise they will stop the
insane.
loan and I have to start paying.
Okay.
And I'm like at home, and all of a sudden this envelope comes, through the post office. My mom picks it up. I'm like, oh shit! They're already sending me to start paying off the thing. I'm stressed out. I'm opening up and I'm reading. Oh, congratulations! You're the winner of the #1
That's awesome.
thing.
That's awesome.
Like, what? What
And
car?
in Poland,
What car you got? The Lada?
that was Opel Agila.
Opel Aquila.
Opel Agila, which is like a micro van.
Okay.
Not a minivan, but like a micro van. Cool car, whatever. And it
Who cares? It's a brand new car.
no,
Seriously.
brand new car.
Seriously.
And they didn't put much of the stickers, just one sticker like that on the back hood. In a bag that is #1 prize of the bank of whatever. I had a
That's insane.
interview in a local TV with the mayor of the city.
Nice.
The dinner, all of that.
Really? The whole shebang?
Yeah, the whole shebang
wow.
thing. So it was.
It's a big deal.
Amazing, no, big deal. But crazy, that win happened shortly after like a huge struggle. That I was like going through a bad thing, and I was like praying to universe and stuff, and it kind of like
It happened.
Came
it
true.
happened
You
recently.
manifested
Born
it.
and
You
manifested
manifested that shit.
to me in a
That's awesome.
amazing way, because I lost the money. Like somebody scammed me. Seriously. On top of it, it was like a Polish gangster mafia involved, a lot of stress. No, it's a long story that I don't want to like.
We'll definitely put that. We'll definitely talk about
Maybe
that
on
in the next one.
another thing. Not that I was involved in a bad way, but I just got scammed by really bad people. Whatever. So after that, I was praying for the good things to happen. I dream about going to Poland, and because of that win, I could do it.
That's
It's like
crazy.
everything happened
For
for
that-
that
It
Based on
reason.
opened
that.
the doors.
Yeah,
That's insane.
Like because of that, I was able to pay for the
That is
entire
crazy.
thing. I paid off my student loan.
Wow.
Nice.
I renovated my house.
Nice.
That is mine. My parents lived there
There, yeah.
at the time, because my father built 3 houses for all of us.
Nice.
And the last one that he is, my mom already passed away, but he's there. But it's my house. All my brothers they have their own houses.
Nice.
So that house I renovated inside, like bathrooms and all
The
the
whole
thing.
shebang.
After
Yeah.
I sold the car that I was using for a year, I opened a company. I was connecting people to the internet.
Oh, wow.
For the multimedia, it's called multimedia. It's like Comcast here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Poland, it's multimedia.
Multimedia.
My
Okay.
neighbor was a manager in the company, so he hired me as a contractor. I was connecting people to the internet,
Nice.
building computers and everything, because I'm in IT. I love that stuff. I was
Nice.
making amazing money, like in comparison to everybody else.
Of course.
Thanks to that car, because I could use
Yeah.
it traveling
Imagine.
around that thing. So I was making amazing money, connecting people to the internet, separate business, building computers and stuff. At the same time, I set it up all the thing for me to go, because that was the long dream. I'm saying, like, everything was just
That's
like
crazy.
fucking
That's crazy.
perfect.
That's
awesome.
amazing.
You know, when I came to US, the very first day, I shit you not, the first day I got the job and an apartment. The first day. Now, I'm not
Wow.
talking the next day. The first day we landed, we go to the boardwalk in Atlantic City. We go to the Days Inn hotel, and the owner of the thing, like, yeah, we need the valet park guy. You look like, yeah, you can do it. I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Here you go. You got a
That's
job.
crazy.
And then he's like, yeah, I'm renting apartments for the students. I got some rooms. There you go. Immediately.
Wow.
That's insane. That's
Then
insane.
4 months later, I called my friend in Miami. Listen, yeah, I mean, because she said, when you contact, I try to help you out. Yeah, it perfectly happens when you're calling. My friend is looking for
We're
a
ready.
roommate.
We're ready.
My friend's looking for a roommate.
You got
I'm
it.
like, okay, I got it. He's Polish. And I call him, and he's like, guess what? I need somebody in a hotel that I'm working as a maintenance guy.
That's
the
amazing.
moment
That's amazing.
that I'm calling. So I'm coming here again, perfectly set it up with the job and everything, never worried.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And then I'm spending 4 months here in Miami Beach, and I'm like, no, I'm not happy with this. I don't want to do this.
Well,
And I'm like
modified.
to myself, I gotta look for something else. But if I'm not gonna quit the job, I will never find anything else.
Yep.
So the first thing I do, I quit the job. In 5 days, I find 2 another jobs.
wow.
That was the
It
pawn
was meant
shop
to be.
lounge
It was
thing.
meant to be.
The pawn shop lounge thing.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, Polish people hire me to run their company with the boxer machine. You know, the boxer machine
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
punch.
When they punch.
And it counts how, you know, so I was running the company for the producer from Poland.
Huh.
We're locating machines in all over South Florida.
Nice.
It was just two of us, one guy and me. I was the English speaking. I was, you know, looking for the bars and restaurants
Finally,
that would let you put it in the machine.
Silence.
At one point, we had 140 machines all over South Florida,
Wow.
all the way to Gainesville, Tampa, Dania, the
So
Daytona.
you were the reason why people punch that thing.
Kind
That's
of
funny.
for the
That's
South Florida, yeah. So at the same time, I
I
was
tried
running.
punching that one time. I almost broke my hand. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
No, look. You
That
see,
is a big
You
difference.
broke it.
you
broke
see this?
You broke it.
That's from
Punching it.
not broken. I never had broken, but
You sprained it?
I did have something.
You
You
punched
see
this.
the difference, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
No.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, I can tell funny stories about it
I
because
bet you could.
we did like few competitions on the thing. I was so good at this thing.
I would imagine you.
I'm sure
you're
you
selling it.
practiced
You
a
have to
lot.
be good at it.
No, I mean that's not necessarily that I knew the trick, because
Yeah.
the owners could have beat me if they are the owners. You know what I mean? But they couldn't. But anyway, we had few situations when we established a contest.
Oh, wow.
It was in Pompano, not Pompano Beach. It was west in Pompano. There was a sports bar, and they invited a bunch of people. Even there was some guy that was from MMA, whatever. He didn't participate in a thing, but we made a big contest, and we arriving. You know, we set up the machine, and like few days before that, I had this thing problem. So I put the bandage,
Around it.
bandage on my hand just to make sure that I'm like
So
whatever.
now you know Pawel is
Thing.
the reason why all those funny Tic Tac videos of people punching these machines.
Yeah. No. But yeah, we are arriving, and a bunch of people already like warming up, and we see the machine. And
So this is a competition.
we did like a competition night.
Wow, okay.
Competition night. It was
Okay.
advertised for like 2 weeks. People arrived.
Nice.
And when we arrived, they're already warming up. They're testing on the machine. And there's a score on the machine. When we arrived, it was 847 or something like that.
Which is good.
Which is good, whatever. And they are warming up. We put the free things on the machine for people to not to pay, just warm up. And then I had a bandage on thing, and I'm coming up to start thing. I warm up and bam,
Oof.
151. Like way above.
Way above.
It's already there. Set it up, and everybody immediately like, oh no,
he's a professional.
He got the bandage.
Yeah,
no,
he's a
no,
professional.
no. There's
Illegal.
no way, illegal. So okay. So I said okay. And I'm like, I took off the bandage. The next round comes up of the warm up. Bam.
What'd you do?
154.
Oh shit!
More than the last
The
one.
first one with the band.
Oh boy!
And that thing stayed the whole night.
That's
even
it.
myself, I didn't beat
You
it.
couldn't even beat it.
I couldn't beat it
That
even
was the
myself.
best one.
That was the best one.
Wow.
Right after
Wow.
that. And nobody else. It was like I had it close. Like I had 151 something.
So now you know.
And-
next time you see a punching machine, it's all his fault. It's all his fault.
Nice.
No, but it was a funny night. Like
That's
me,
awesome.
skinny guy. No, I was like the same. Like
You're not that skinny. You're not that skinny.
I'm
Come
right.
I'm a skinny guy.
But yeah, like no other way could have. Even myself, like
You couldn't beat
after
it.
that, I couldn't beat it. It was so funny, like because it was like after taking off the bandage, they all like, oh, that's because of the bandage. And without the bandage, bam, like nobody.
Nice.
You know?
Very nice.
Pavel, I'd like to thank you for coming out today.
Thank you for having me.
We
I
had
really
a lot of
enjoyed
great
it.
topics.
That's such a fun time.
I'm glad that you had a good time. We definitely had a good time. Did you have a good time?
I had a good time. Thank you.
Yeah, I know you have a good time.
We gotta repeat it sometime
I do.
soon again.
We will definitely repeat it. We need to
Absolutely.
update on the vodka, what's going on.
Yep.
No.
And
We
the
are
art.
going
no,
to
next
put-
time we're gonna try it. Next time.
Absolutely,
Oh, I
absolutely.
look forward to
I
that.
don't know. I think if I try some vodka, demons come out. So
Well,
that might
there's only
not
one
be
way
a
to
great
find
idea.
out, right? Only
What?
one way to find out is by trying.
I don't know.
At least you're
I
home.
don't want to get kicked out of podcast and YouTube, but we'll try it. We'll give it a go.
We'll try it.
I'm looking forward to trying that. It was the pineapple one.
Coconut
Coconut
flavor
one.
ones. Coconut ones is the best, but no, I'm
Yes.
gonna try to bring the rosé.
So I'm gonna put
because
down
the-
there.
I'm looking
gonna
forward
put
to the
down
rosé one.
the website.
the rosé one.
You're gonna let me know the website so
Yeah.
people can go out and get it.
Yeah.
Definitely try it out. It's a new product. My friend here, Pawel, he's a great guy. His art is amazing. I'm gonna put out his
Thank you.
Instagram
Yeah, my
and website
Instagram,
so you can take a
Borzik
look
Art.
at it. What is it called?
Borzik, Borzik art.
Borsig Art. There you go.
Borsig.
So definitely check that out. Art is a beautiful thing. It inspires us. It opens up our soul. If it talks to you, get it. Have it in your home. Enjoy it. That's all it's about. That's basically what art is. Art is to touch your soul. And if you find it attractive, if you enjoy it, if you think that's something that will, you wake up every morning, you go downstairs, you have a drink of coffee, and you look at it, and it's something that you're like, wow, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You should have it in your home.
Sometimes it's not necessarily about you, how you feel, but also like
Something you
for
remember.
how you make it fun for others. Like
Absolutely.
when you invite your friends,
Absolutely.
you have something to talk about because
Absolutely.
they will come to you and you're like, what the F is this?
Yes.
And it
That's good.
starts
Good point.
conversation.
Listen, you can't get
Good
more.
point.
Like,
I'm gonna put pictures of this. I'm gonna put pictures
Yeah.
of that, so you guys can see it. It is really
It's a great conversation
peace.
piece.
Absolutely.
Because
There's a lot to it. There's
all
a
of
lot
it
to
is very unique. You're not gonna see it in
No.
a department store.
No,
you know,
no.
and it sparks the reason to converse.
If you want to
and-
be unique, if you want to be different, if you want to really express what's inside you, I think that art is the only way to go about it. So thank you so much for being here today.
Of course, my
Like
pleasure.
this-
Thank you
thank
for
your-
inviting
your
me
son
and my son. I really enjoyed it, and thank you for amazing food, Roxana,
you're
that you
welcome.
prepared for us because it was
we didn't
so
even talk about the
delicious.
cigar,
You're
but,
welcome.
Yeah.
the cigars, you know, my fans know that we love cigars. The one that you were smoking was an Arturo Fuente, which is a very particular smoke. I was actually smoking an Oliva, which I'm hoping that one day they're actually going to send me some free cigars so I can actually sponsor them. Baby, thank you so much for coming into the podcast.
You're welcome.
Danielle Delgado, I'm looking at you for not coming today. I know you had some issues. You got the big loser.
Oh,
You got the loser one. That's okay. That's all right.
No,
I still love you. You're my
can
brother.
win at the next one.
Yes, you
can
can turn
win
the
at
loser
the-
into a winner.
There you
We'll
go.
see.
There
We'll
you
see.
go.
You got a chance to redeem yourself.
We'll
at the
see. We'll
next
see.
time.
We'll see.
Coming
He's a
soon,
funny guy.
coming
He's a
soon.
fun-
I saw it.
Roxana-
I
Roxana-
think if that's the same person you're
Yes.
talking about, yeah.
Roxana
I like
always tells me that Danny is fire and
Yeah.
I'm gasoline.
Literally.
So he's fire and I just throw some gasoline on him, which just lights him up.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
thank you everybody for joining us tonight. I want to thank the sponsors. Definitely, to making this happen. We enjoy it. I enjoy your conversation today immensely. Mi amor, thank you so much
Likewise.
for being part of this podcast.
You're welcome.
And everybody
our
have
food.
the food is amazing. The Milanesa,
Sponsor of the stomach.
the
There you
sponsor
go.
of the stomach.
Sponsor
So
of the
thank you everybody.
stomach
Have a good
tonight.
night and we'll see you in the
Good
next episode.
night.
Thank you.